Well, there's
Good.
also the girl who plays Robin, who's at the home. She was Sheila in Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Yeah, I knew that. Yep.
Fucking love that movie.
Oh, no, yeah, I did watch it.
Danced my ass off in that movie.
And then the guy who
Oh,
played
you're allowed to
I
dance.
But when we did.
Crystal's allowed to dance.
I'm not dancing at the. Yeah. No.
This
This is not how I dance.
I'm having the most unlucky day. This morning I went to buy a cup of coffee. My credit card fell out of my wallet and then it blew away down the street in the wind.
Well, you should have a smart wallet, like the kind made by Exter. It's thin and covered in premium leather. It keeps your card secure and even has a button that pops them out with ease, like this.
Then I went to go buy something else online and I found out my bank account was empty.
Someone must have used RFID skimming to get your credit card info. Luckily, Exter wallets have RFID protection, so I can rest easy knowing my information is safe.
And speaking of wallets, on the way to the store today, got pulled over by a cop, and then I couldn't find my license because I couldn't find my wallet.
This smart wallet comes with a solar-powered Bluetooth tracker. When it's missing, I can activate the tracker using the app, and it will start ringing. I can also use the tracker to find my phone.
Where can I get one of these extra wallets you keep telling me about?
You could go to the link in the description of this video and get a discount today.
It's time to hack the movies. Today, we're talking about tapes with Tony and Newt and Crystal.
Talking about tapes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talking About Tapes. Hello, Newt.
Hey,
What are you looking at there?
trying to figure out where Dr. Art Adams' chin went. Is that why he grew a beard?
I'm more confused why Christina Ricci is on that cover.
I'm assuming drunk driving.
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, Bugsy Siegel. That's good.
that's a good one. That's
Well,
a good
can
one.
we not talk about these movies? Let's talk about this.
We can talk about that on Patreon, but we gotta
really want to
talk.
watch that now.
We gotta talk about Friday the 13th, the Tommy Jarvis trilogy,
4, 5, and 6.
because we covered 1, 2, and 3.
And then people said, when are you going to do the other ones? And after we said, we're going to do them in batches every Friday the 13th. And people go, oh, okay. When are you going to do Friday the 13th again?
You guys really need to do the Friday the 13th. I'm like, well, we said on the next Friday the 13th.
Wait,
I know,
wait,
but when are you going to do Friday the 13th?
Yeah,
On the Friday the 13th.
I'm not
Okay.
understanding.
Is that Alien 3?
No. Anyway, yes, so we're doing Friday the 13th, parts 4, 5, and 6, which is the Tommy Jarvis trilogy.
Did you know that Miller High Life is the champagne of beers?
Yes, everyone
know.
knows that.
I do know that.
Everyone, this is a common fact now.
I once bought a friend, I said, hey, I got you some nice champagne, and I got him a 40 ounce of Miller
That's
High
actually
Life.
pretty
It's
good.
nice.
Jump on ya.
Yeah, so these are, 4 is probably one of the most popular Friday the 13th.
I think 4 is the best of the series. It's
The
got the best
final-
characters.
The final chapter.
And they never
and it
made
was
another
done.
one.
It was done there.
4 is the best,
Yes.
but 5 is my favorite.
Yes, 4 is when
5
they,
and 10.
4 is when these finally became like Jason movies as you know it, because he's
Yeah.
wearing the mask right from the beginning.
Yep.
Because most of 3 he's obscured.
Thanks to Shelley, credit where credit is due.
Thanks to Shelley, yes. And this continues the tradition. Well, this is 4 is also in the same week as 2 and 3.
Yes.
It's been
Yeah.
a very busy
'Cause
week.
isn't it-
Yeah, it's so I binge watched 1 through 6 in 2 days.
Yeah.
So my mind's a little jumbled right
Did you
now.
think it was weird that Jason had long hair, and then after he got stabbed, the first thing he did was shave and cut his hair,
There's
No,
a
he-
couple things
and then
where I was
grow
like,
a couple feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple things where I was like, ooh, especially
And then he
when we get to
changes
5.
again in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he changes a little bit. I mean, one of the biggest things that actually pissed me off continuity-wise is the cover. Without even watching the film, the cover of it actually has the slash mark on the wrong side.
Which one? 4?
On 4.
Let me see.
Because that was what
Yes.
the video game
Oh,
used
It's on
that.
the wrong side.
Yeah.
It's he gets slashed on.
Well, no, when you
on the
take
left side.
when you take a picture, it flips it.
well, you're,
Because in Dreams, the slash mark actually reads slash mark on the other side.
Yes.
does
Did
it
you
actually
know?
read slash mark?
Yeah.
You know, often in dreams, the number 666 looks like 999, as in 1999, the year of his return.
Yes.
But we already
Jason. There wasn't a Jason movie in 1999.
No, there wasn't.
There was one in 93 and then not another one until
2001.
2000.
Or two.
Two.
Might have been two.
Yeah, because Justin and I were just talking about it. We were just like, wait, Justin and I definitely saw Jason X in the theater. And then Justin was there the night that we saw Freddy versus Jason, where I broke up with my then girlfriend at the theater.
That's a good place to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to get into these? Again, we're doing these in batches. Everyone's really covered these.
Yeah.
You already know, so this is just our experience with them. When did you first see this, Newt? Probably in the theater when you were
When I was
17?
in my 20s, yeah. In 1984, whenever this came out.
Yes.
I'd just gotten out of the Peace Corps. I don't fucking know. These used to be on all the time. 4, 5, the one where he fights Carrie, were always on. Joe Bob. Actually, no. They could never get the right. I never remember which one. They could never get the rights to one of them. So they never showed it, but then they always showed them like without titties and gore and stuff in them. Well, 6 did that for you. So I remember these being on late night TV all the time, and because I used to go, it used to be Prism, and Prism would show like when a sports team in Philly would play on the West Coast, their games would start at like 10 o'clock at night. So I would stay up on a Friday or Saturday night to watch the game with my dad. That my dad would fall asleep, and I always knew, even as a little kid, that after 10 o'clock. Cool shit happened on Prism. So it was either a Friday the 13th movie or some kind of titty movie. And sometimes it was both.
Yes.
So,
part 4 is a titty movie.
yeah.
Titty 4
Yeah.
is the tittiest of titty movies.
But 5 has the best titties.
Yeah, but we're just
We
saying.
fucking talked about this last.
All right,
sheer
hold on.
quantity.
Yeah, I know.
Quantity versus quality.
Thank you.
Which I do not agree with
No,
that. Everyone
no.
knows
It
I'm
literally
always
went-
quantity over quality.
That's the thing. Is it went like all is blood and gore, and then kinda, and then none. I was like, what the fuck just
Yeah,
happened?
6 you and I watched.
Yes, it's the best one.
Yeah.
It's
a
the
lot of
best
people
one.
say that.
No, it's the
I
best.
think I need to give it another chance.
Well, let's talk.
But
Let's talk
Let's
about
talk about
Talk
when did
about
you first see
4.
4?
I don't know when
Yesterday?
I've seen. No, I don't know when I've seen all of them because they kind of just appear on TV and
No.
throughout my life they've been on.
I was kind of like that too. I think my friend Anthony showed me this because we were real into slasher movies. I think he owned this one.
Is it Tony
And Anthony.
Anthony, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Italians. man.
So yeah, we watched this together, and I think he was real into the kid who made masks and stuff because that's like what he wanted
Tommy,
to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we watched this, and I always liked this one, but I never,
oh,
Mm.
that's why we can't have anything nice.
I didn't really own it till like later.
Mhm.
Beanie signature.
And they never played this one a lot on like on cable. They played 6, 7, and 8
Yeah.
all the time in the early 2000s. But for some reason, this one didn't get played that much.
Yeah. 8 used to be on TNT a lot.
Yeah, I watched 8 with my mom.
Yeah.
I think I said in the previous episode that might be the first one I watched all the way through.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forget.
But that one, I had the Nintendo game when I was a kid, and that's the startup screen.
Yes.
Is that? So that's that one always. And then what's the one with Lord Humongous? That's 5. Has Lord
That's
Humongous.
5. I
yeah.
mentioned in the last episode of Rental Reviews, the Lord Humongous mask from Road Warrior. The bad guy. The cover of 5 is the bad guy from Road Warrior's mask,
Yeah.
Oh,
but not
I was
silver.
wondering why it was like
Yeah.
that.
Just walk
I had no
forward.
idea. I
It's
was like, you
bizarre
don't see
that they would pick that.
I didn't.
But
I
it's
went to
also-
look that up to see why that mask. It makes no sense.
It's also
at
the
all.
mask that Craig Clark Griswold wears when he's cutting down the Christmas tree.
That's right.
I love that movie.
And Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
But yeah, so this is like a lot of people's favorite.
I found out
It's
a lot
definite-
of people actually have never even seen any of the Friday the 13th. I just found out recently. I was just at a Wawa. Yeah, it's weird. I was just at a Wawa, and the girl behind the counter goes, "I like your T-shirt a lot. I just watched that movie for the first
You know
time
why?
last
Because they
night."
haven't made one since 2008,
Yeah.
2009.
That can't, like,
no.
she's like, no, but she
the
said,
remake came out.
2009.
No, it couldn't have.
2009 or 2008.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, because Nightmare on Elm Street came after.
Came out in 2010.
Oh my God. I knew you already when that came
However,
out.
however, you can say we want about the movies. People haven't seen it because you always have to put a new one out to get people to see these.
yeah.
The video game, the new video game, started a whole generation of new fans. When I would
Yeah.
play that video game, can't count how many times a fucking 8-year-old wouldn't just slow down the car so I could get in and escape. They would just be like, "Oh, we're gonna leave you," and then I'd get fucking killed by Jason. I yelled at so many young children playing that game. And I'm like, well, you know what? They really screwed me over, those assholes, but at least they're figuring out what Friday the 13th
I hope
is.
one of you drowns in a lake.
Yes.
There's an awesome Friday the 13th puzzle game I play a lot. I think it's free on Steam or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It
I
is
played that.
so much
That one's fun,
fun.
too. So I think right now there is a generation of like teens and young kids that are going to get really into Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
But because of the ongoing legal battles, well, one, they killed that game.
Yeah.
The guy who wrote the first one sued to be like part owner of like the Jason character because he kind of technically created him.
Okay.
Why
So
don't
there's-
Tom Savini sue? He fucking created what the look of Jason was.
Yeah, but the guy
Pretty
wrote
much,
it.
yeah.
It's this ongoing legal battle. So there were a lot of things. I don't even know how that new box set got approved. The new like all together box
yeah.
set. So the video game couldn't do anything until it got like figured out. So they were ready to release Jason X. They
Yeah.
were ready to release the which will tie into the fifth one. It was called Paranoia Mode. And the whole thing was that you're the camp counselor and you could dress as Jason and kill people and sneak. It was kind of
cool.
like Among Us
Yeah.
before Among Us
Yes.
became a thing because it was tied into part 5 and
Yeah.
then
Oh my god, I totally.
because of the legal issues, they weren't able to add any more stuff.
Didn't-
They were able to patch the game and that was it.
LeBron
Did they ever
James tried
release
to
it?
buy it.
Yeah, LeBron James tried to buy it.
I
Really?
hope it's as good as Space Jam 2.
I'm going to read the plot to you
Okay.
as told by the back of the DVD.
Oh.
The body count continues in this vivid thriller. I don't know if it's thriller is the right word.
I go with thriller. Yeah.
Okay, this next one's funny. What's that say?
The final
Final
chapter.
chapter.
Okay. The fourth, but not final.
Really? Wow.
By the time this hit DVD, up to part 9 got made, so they knew.
But here's the thing, like
Because they want you to buy part 5.
the head of the studio's son was the head guy behind these movies. But the studio was so embarrassed by these movies. Roger Ebert like killed this movie.
Yeah.
And just said terrible things about it. And he was like that people only watch movies because people only watch these kind of movies because they like watching people get stabbed. And I was like, no. And this is the movie that has my favorite cast.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, you're watching a bunch of people having a good time and hanging out and smoking weed and watching exploitation. Like the dude watches like a fucking like moviola of like
Of, like, old porn.
Yes.
And I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of what this is. And
It's just fun.
The fourth, but not final story in the widely successful Friday the 13th series.
they all made 11 times their budget.
They did. I wrote down their
Jason-
budget down. I was like, whoa.
Jason, Crystal Lake's least popular citizen.
I don't know
My
about
favorite.
that. I
don't-
would pick Jason above the two fucking hicks in the next
Look,
one.
Listen.
Ethel is
I
fantastic.
don't think-
Don't talk shit about Ethel.
You big dildo.
I don't think he paid taxes or votes. I don't know how much of a citizen.
What if he
really-
does? Well, no, technically.
Yeah, there are citizens who don't, but I don't know if he has a birth certificate still.
Well,
like-
when he died, when he was
isn't he legally on paper dead? I don't know
Well,
if you're a
he's
citizen once you
and he's
die.
a child still.
Yeah.
Wow.
Returns to wreak further havoc in Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
That's not the
Even though
final
earlier
chapter.
in the description they said, but not
the
final. After his revival in a hospital morgue, the hockey masked murderer fixes his vengeful attention on the Jarvis family
Oh
and
my
a group
God.
of hitherto carefree teenagers. Young Tommy Jarvis is an aficionado.
Aficionado.
I am really fucking
Wow,
up
are
today.
you okay? Are you? How much
No.
did you drink?
You know what it is?
Those are gross.
You know
by
how
the
we
way.
said we shot a couple reviews this weekend? I shot like 10 videos this weekend and my throat
Oh,
is just destroyed.
This is what happens when you're so famous, Tony.
I know.
And the
Such
view
a hard
count
life.
just shows it. Like we are just,
Hopefully by the time this airs, the view count is bounced back.
or it's like, hey, it's weird that Newt was having such a good time that it's weird that he killed himself and came
Listen,
back.
guys, I just want
Wow, you're really
just a
repressed
disclaimer,
today.
guys. Who cares what movie we're reviewing? Just watch the episode.
Yeah.
Because Toy Story 2 had some funny stuff. I talked about my dog that didn't have
Just
a brain.
here, just fucking put it on and mute it. Just play
Fear
it over
Street-
again and mute it.
Fear Street has one of the funniest goddamn stories Newt has ever told. It broke me and Johanna, and you guys skipped over it. Just who cares about the movie? It's not about the movie.
It's
but
not about
keep
the
watching.
movie. It's about the person.
It's not about the movie here at Hack the Movies.
No.
Anyway, young Tommy Jarvis is an aficionado of horror films with a special talent for masks and makeup. Has the diabolical Jason finally met his match? Talked about, you know how we talk about how modern filmmakers and stuff, they insert themselves into the
Yeah.
movie, like a self-insert character. Tommy Jarvis is Tom
Is
Savini.
Tom Savini.
It's literally
Well,
Tom
love it.
Savini.
But that was the director's idea.
yeah. Director
Frank Zito?
Joseph
Director is
Zito.
Joseph
Joseph
Zito.
Zito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's also done.
Oh, Frank
he did a whole bunch of
Zito.
stuff.
Frank Zito is Joe Spinell's character in Maniac.
Oh, right. See how you get those confused.
Which also had special effects by Tom
Tom
Savini.
Savini.
Yep.
Joseph Zito's done like Citizen Blue, Blood Rage, The Prowler, Missing.
Prowler's great.
Yes.
Prowler was made in Cape May, New Jersey, where I filmed the Gore Orgy trailer for Midnight
We've
Show.
done a whole bunch of stuff in
This?
that area.
No, we did Wildwood. We filmed at the same hotel. They blew up Farley Granger's
Well,
head.
remember, Crystal Lake is in New Jersey.
It isn't.
Which is why part 5 is so fucking funny that there's like these fucking backwards ass hicks in it.
You know,
They're
when
just
people
like,
from the South move north, it's possible.
no, they moved to Florida.
Have you met people in Jersey? They think that they're from the South sometimes.
Yeah, how many like
North-
white basic
North-
women get like real into country and start wearing the cowboy hats and stuff
And go mudding.
even though they never spent any time in the South.
I always thought that was anal.
Why do you have to spend
Why
time in
is
the
you?
South? To,
Why is you?
Why is you got to be spending time in the South?
Honey
Why
child?
do you
Whistling
have to-
Dixie.
Honey child?
You don't have to spend time in the South to enjoy being in the woods and getting muddy and.
He's
love
just saying they didn't like their
and-
accents. Anyway,
No.
so Friday the 13th, part 4. It opens up as the previous one did, right after the last one.
I like the shot where the ambulance, like it's a really good shot. And for these kind of movies, it's saying something. There's the shot where the ambulance pulls away and it leaves the scene quiet. And it's a really well done shot for this kind of movie. You know?
And then
Well, before all that, this is the last movie that does the recap.
Yes.
No other movie. So 1, 2, 3
7 does a recap.
Oh, does it? I don't.
7
think I
does a recap.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I remember 4 does the recap, but then 5 doesn't do a recap, and 6 doesn't. And this is the first one where you actually see the new Jason, the actual Jason mask in the title.
Oh, right.
None of
and
the other
is
three.
that-
All the other threes. I posted the picture of the first one on my Twitter, saying like, "Oh, doing my own little marathon." Everyone's like, "Wow, that title looks like."
They do the thing, break through
Yeah,
the glass.
but it looks like the CD. Now that's what I call music. It looks just like they mentioned that. I was like, oh my God, you're right.
Now-
So many comments said that.
Now that's what Jason calls murder, part 6.
Yes.
So yeah, they take him to a hospital,
Where
like
the-
in the city.
yeah.
And like you kind of like when I first saw this, I'm like, oh wow, is Jason going to like a city? And then he doesn't.
No.
No.
He's on a boat for 2 hours.
No, that's a different.
Oh,
one.
okay.
So he makes it all the way to the morgue. So I guess Jason is undead. You kind of imply in the second and third one, maybe he's just really hard to kill.
Yeah.
Even though in part 3, after
Like
he was
Steven
like,
Seagal. He's
after
hard
he
to
was
kill.
killed, he somehow like got more muscle.
Yeah.
He's thinned down a little bit. He's
Yeah.
not. He doesn't have the bulky shoulders anymore. They sent him to the morgue where a guy is watching pornography.
Oh,
No, it's an aerobics video.
I know.
And it's a real aerobics video, too.
And do you know
It
that-
is.
Yeah.
It was played in the movie Dirty Work. It is what Artie Lang's dad watches when
Yeah.
you're supposed
Really?
to assume
I didn't know that.
pornography. And I think I know what trivia you're about to say. The girl in
About
that tape.
Darcy DeMoss.
The girl in that
Yes.
tape is in part 6.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
She plays Nikki in part 6.
Part 6?
Sex. Even though there's no.
Well, they're about to have
in it at all.
sex in the morgue.
Yes.
Yes.
Doesn't the dude looks like Spoonie? Remember Spoonie? Doesn't he?
Anyway.
The guy's a creep though, because he goes, "Oh wow," what says about the girl? Oh yeah, she's really pretty. And the guy goes, "Was really pretty." He goes, "No, she's still really pretty." Like,
Does he still wait? Because I forgot to rewatch this. Does he still have the axe in his head?
No, they
No.
took the axe out.
No, they took it out.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
took it out, but there's still the slash.
They still have the
But
slash.
there's-
But they left the mask on him.
They left the mask on.
Oh,
him,
they do always do that with Michael Myers as well.
But
I know it's stupid both
Yeah.
times. They should once the cops. Yeah, Halloween 5's weird. He's in jail with the mask. I'm like, no, they have to photograph you before.
yes, and then there's nothing on his clothes. There's no blood stains. There's no wounds. How many times have they cut his hands and arms
He's got
and legs?
stain-resistant
No.
clothing.
No, but you see it. Does it just disappear? And all the rips just magically.
Crystal, no one's watching these movies for anything other than they want to see boobies and they want to see
Well,
blood.
I
They
also
shouldn't
like.
see 6 then.
I also like that his
Yes,
nails are
6
now
is terrible.
gigantic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I mention that that's a myth that your nails and hair grow after
It's
death?
just your skin recedes.
Yeah, your skin is just
Yeah.
getting dehydrated and receding, so it creates the illusion.
Yeah, why would your bones wouldn't?
Unless
It's an
you're
old wives' tale.
What if you're a vampire with a coke nail? Like Grandpa Joe and Charlie in the Chocolate Factory is coke nail, and Princess Leia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
big surprise
although she's
there.
claimed that wasn't a coke nail, she's like,
Are
she's
you
like,
fucking kidding me? That's
no, she
totally
said she
coke
was
now.
fancy and did it with a spoon.
They
She
do
didn't need her nail. I'm like,
drugs.
well, that's a good defense.
That bitch.
Do you-
did
I love
like
her defense was like, I didn't do cocaine like that. The music is back.
The music's back.
Because part 3, we mentioned in our last episode, kind of, Harry Manfredini was just like, I'm going to go full disco. It's like, what?
I fucking love the disco theme. though.
It was weird. It's weird. This seems more normal.
Yeah.
When we did the last review, I had the DVD with the first 4 that you get at Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
And when part 3 was on, I had it in my living room, and the cat was sitting in front of the TV. When that song was playing, I picked my cat up and I went like that with her, and she was like, "You can literally go fuck your own face."
That's why she's broken. You scrambled her brain.
No, she's fine.
So yeah, Jason is headed back to Crystal Lake.
Well, after he cuts the dude's
Yeah.
head and turns it, and then he kills the
Yes.
girl, and he's going back to Crystal Lake. He's got really good he knows how to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in part 2, he kills Alice and then somehow gets back.
Yeah.
But no one sees him just walking.
And
Well,
I know
it's
there's not
it's
that
the
many
same it's the
woods.
same town from they know what you
I know what you did last summer.
where the people are like, you know what, not my problem.
Yes.
Plus it is New Jersey.
It is New Jersey.
We know
Also, his olive green shirt has now turned black for some reason, so he's blending in with the shadow.
exactly.
Yeah.
He's a lot like Batman.
yeah.
Yeah, so then there's 2 sets of heroes in this film. There's the kids that are going camping, and then there's the Jarvis family.
Crispin Glover
Yes.
Crispin Glover.
from who wore wood shoes and kicked David Letterman in the face.
Yes, and he
The guy from Last American Virgin.
right.
Who gets laid more in a movie called Last American Virgin than he does in a Friday the 13th movie.
Yes.
With that movie, he's in with Diane Franklin, who is one of my crushes as a child. I've always had such a crush on her.
But I like when they're on the way to the cabin or whatever. We get the funniest kill ever. There's just a person on the side of the road,
Yeah.
but they must get rejected for hitchhiking so
Yeah.
much that they wrote fuck you
you.
on the back of their sign. This is a common thing for them. You'd think they'd be immune to it at this point and they wouldn't even bother. And then they go to eat a banana on the side of the road, and Jason decides they need to die.
Yeah. Do you think that scene was oh, we don't know, because this one has the most gore in
Yeah.
it. So
Because Tom Savini came back for this
yeah,
one.
Tom Savini came back. So it's not like in part 6 where they added kill. Actually, part 5 too, when the two young men heading to the set of William Friedkin's Cruisin',
Yeah.
the 2 leather daddies,
Yeah.
they get murdered. That was added later because there wasn't enough kills. 6, they had to add a bunch more kills
Yeah.
too. The banana lady is just weird.
Yeah.
And then how do you think the casting call? It's we need a plus size woman to stand on the side of the road and eat a banana, and they're like, wow, these movies have really become
But,
avant-garde.
So this is where they...
and the name, they didn't want people to know that this movie was called Friday the 13th Part 4. So the title that they sent it to everybody under was Repetition. And then from this point on, every movie was sent to everyone as a David Bowie song. So Aladdin Sane and stuff like that.
That's
were
funny.
yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, so Jason, not that he had one in the 3rd, because he kills all those people for
Yeah.
no reason. He just now kills anyone.
Yeah.
For no reason.
No.
Just, what
He's
was
just
that?
angry. No.
Was that girl even a teen? She wasn't even at Crystal Lake yet?
But then I was curious. I was like, okay, is he trying to just kill as many people to try to bring back his mom? Because
No.
he had this whole
No.
entire little.
She had some offensive tweets in the past.
yes.
Yes.
Right, she deserved it. She
Yeah.
deserved it. But I will
he
give you
starts doing, a thing though. It looks like he's starting to trying to sacrifice and bring us with the whole whatchamacallit.
No, they tried that in part 3 when the mom
That's
popped
what-
out of the water, and you're like, what the fuck?
yeah, and
That
then we're
was
like,
like
nah,
part
we're not
of
doing
Dream,
that.
but it
We're not
wasn't.
doing that.
He's just
So
angry.
you're right. I like the Jarvis family.
Yeah.
They're
I like
pretty for these types of movies. They're kind of well developed.
And
They feel like they are a family.
Yeah.
Like they have a little.
Tommy's played by Corey Feldman,
Corey
who was
Feldman, yes.
apparently a fucking jerk off this entire movie and was a dick.
He was a
And
kid.
He was a kid. But so this movie is well known for you watch it and you're like, wow, it looks like these people are having a lot of fun. And then you find out behind the scenes it was a nightmare for everyone.
Oh, the guy who played Jason hated it.
He hated working with the kid.
Yeah.
And the director apparently like did not treat the actors or the stunt people very well.
Oh, like the naked girl. I heard the naked girl in the water. She was like freezing.
She
and,
got
like, the guy playing
pneumonia.
Jason was like, you gotta like, this is wrong.
And then he wouldn't allow crash pads for the stuntmen, so like it became like a thing. And then when the dude
How does the director have authority on that?
is a low budget movie.
Yeah, but they could be
union
like,
or
no, we're doing
anything.
this with crash pad or you're not getting it at all.
Yeah. So, but apparently everybody had like a really bad time working
Yes.
on it. But it doesn't show because again, like there's scenes. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when the dude from Last American Virgin is sitting there and he's smoking weed because that dude's a method actor.
Yeah.
And then the girl says she wants to take a shower with him, and he looks back at his friend and like gives him a thing, and then the friend goes, "Shut up!" Like that's how dudes would
Yeah.
interact. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, look, they're natural, you know."
I don't care about the teens as much as I care about the Jarvis
Yeah.
family. And then there's the guy.
Wait, can I just say,
Yeah.
sorry. You're saying, like, it's been going in my brain. You're like, this is low budget, low budget, low budget. It's crazy to know, because I wrote down the budget was $1,800,000.
That's nothing.
I know, but to me,
Yes, to us because
To
we make
us, that would
we
be a
make-
lot.
I'm trying
that's
to.
also in the 80s.
Yeah, but
It
this is
doesn't
also
matter.
a union show.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Like,
more
what if it was-
insurance. It's low
Well,
budget,
they
but it was
clearly didn't care.
it was
Union
released by a
clearly didn't give
studio.
a
Yeah.
Like it's expensive.
No one gave a fuck about how everyone's being treated.
Yeah,
so
but the
union's
studio
out the fucking window.
But the studio like were embarrassed by these movies, but they were embarrassed all the way to the fucking bank.
Yeah.
You know?
They wore a paper bag at the bank.
But they
Yeah.
didn't mind making, what was it?
I'm not a Paramount
$32
producer.
Yeah.
million $600,000 they made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once a year these things would come out and would be huge fucking like the 80s from like 1977 to like 1984 a slasher movie came out every weekend.
Yeah.
There's a great documentary called Going to Pieces, the rise and fall of the slasher film.
Yeah.
And they trace it all the way back to the Grand Guignol Theater and then into like people always say like, "Oh, Halloween was the first slasher." Well, no, before that, not even before Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even before Psycho, there was Peeping Tom, which is really where the tropes started. And then you have the Giallo films kind of came after that
Yeah.
have a lot of those tropes as well. So yeah, they were huge, but they'll never come back. It's such a Reagan era thing that when people try
to bring it back. Like the reboot was a good like little homage.
yeah,
but yeah.
And then Michael Bay walked out because he said there's too much sex in this movie.
That's funny.
Yeah. Now, Megan Fox, spread eagle on that motorcycle. Yeah.
All right, someone give us just $20,000 and we will make the fucking best thing and we'll treat people with
Yeah.
somewhat respect.
So let me talk about. I love again. Keep in mind, 2, 3, and 4, all within a week. There's a guy in the woods with the tent who's hunting Jason.
Yeah.
To avenge his sister, who I think died in part 2.
He should be at her funeral because it was a day
He
ago.
should literally.
It was a day ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
He should literally. Well, if it's part 2, maybe 2 days ago. He should literally be mourning his sister. Having the cops figure at this point he should think Jason is dead in the morgue.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've said he got out yet.
Was his sister like the hippie chick with the nice boobs
I don't remember.
who got killed in the
Yeah.
same way from the Mario Bava film with the...
Yes, I don't remember. So
How would they separate? When the cops showed up, would they have to like separate the bodies?
So the rest of the family's like getting
No,
ready
that's-
for the
it's 2
funeral. Like,
days.
Yeah.
It was 2 days.
yeah,
I'm,
how
like,
are we
thinking in my
gonna?
head.
How are we gonna pay for the funeral expenses? Where's the brother? It's like, oh, he's in the woods hunting Jason,
Yeah.
who he technically should not know is still alive, or even the killer. I don't know how public that information gets. At
Well,
this point,
They made it pretty clear on the
but
news when
do they
had
even
it.
know it's Jason?
In
Like
part
the cops
5
wouldn't know that it was Jason.
In part 5, someone took a picture at close range of Jason.
that is pretty.
That person
which
better
must have happened in this movie,
Yeah.
but we never know when.
Well, clearly that person won like the Pulitzer. It's like the person, like the people who take like pictures of like starving children in Africa
Yeah.
and they win like awards. That's that guy.
yeah.
He's also the same guy who took the picture of Superman flying in space.
They wouldn't know really who it is because it's not till the next movie when they actually announce his full name. They never say Jason Voorhees.
Yeah,
You
in
just
part
in this
know
five.
it's
movie.
Voorhees
'Cause this
because
is
the
the one-
mom's name is Voorhees.
Well, they also
But they
stop.
always say, I don't
It's
think
kinda
they
like-
ever actually say,
No, I say Jason.
they say Jason. They
He's-
never say
yeah.
Jason Voorhees until the next movie.
But also they stop in front of a tombstone that says the mom died in 1979, not 1980.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
1980 because in June, whatever it was, in 1979, that was actually a Friday the 12th, not Friday the 13th.
Oh my God,
Friday
no!
the 13th was actually in 1980.
Oh my god.
We got to delete this cat. This needs
Yeah,
to be
we're
wiped
done.
from the
We
canon.
can't watch these movies.
But no, this one's fun. What are your favorite kills?
Ted, where's the corkscrew? Ted.
Yes.
Ted, hey, Ted, where the hell's corkscrew?
Am I really a dead fuck?
Your favorite kill?
Skip me. You go. I don't know. I'm thinking. I have
guys,
to like replay this.
guys.
I didn't know we were asking questions like this.
Guys, it's 100% Banana Girl. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah,
it's
true.
Banana Girl
True.
all the way.
I like the dude who gets his face smashed against the
I'm like trying to remember
the shower.
Yes.
That was okay, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also okay. So, because we're gonna cut this short because we have to move on. We have
I
two more of these.
know.
The ending makes no fucking sense. Okay, so Tommy goes up. So they foreshadow. Tommy's mom's like, "You gotta cut your hair. You little
Yes.
monster mask making little goonie."
Yeah.
But then later he goes upstairs and cuts all of his hair off. And Jason,
Some of it.
but Jason, does Jason think he's looking at himself? Like I get it when
Yes,
Amy
that's what it's
Steele,
supposed to
when
be,
Amy
yeah.
Steele put on a sweater and he goes, "Oh, you're my mom."
Yeah.
Like I get it. Jason was a special needs child, except for when you get to Jason Takes Manhattan, where he's just a kid who looks.
Yeah,
normal.
that was weird.
Yeah. It's almost like they're erasing people with disabilities in this series.
But by the way, the movie Scare Package parodied this
Yeah.
really well. It's me. I beat the cancer.
But yeah, so it doesn't make sense to me. Like I was like, Jason's able to like use like tools and shit.
What I
Like,
will say about Jason is, I like the way he looks because it is
Yeah.
like Tom Savini's original design,
Yes.
but grown up. I mean, it doesn't look like the last two.
And people, I like his death, but I also think it's dumb that that's the way you would kill him. Like he's already been.
You know
cut in the
what's
head.
funny?
Yeah.
How does he? When for some reason when his mask comes off, he suddenly becomes a slow, stiff
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
get
because
that.
the actor can't see,
They
and
cut-
then it's a fake hand.
And they cut out the extra scene where like you see his tongue wiggling in his mouth as it's sliding.
Oh yeah,
down
I
the
do
machete.
like that knife.
I
Yeah.
and then
I love
although
that
he is
one.
getting sliced in the eye, I don't like that, but I like
Yeah.
how it falls down.
I like that a lot.
And that does seem like a definitive ending. Like
Yeah.
it's like, well, how are you gonna get around that?
And then you go, oh, it's easy. We'll just have Roy do it.
biggest question though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is
No, I was gonna say though, my biggest question is: was the dog pushed out of the window or did he jump? Can someone please answer
The
that for me?
dog is the smartest
don't
person in the
know.
movie and was like, bye.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on with the dog? The entire movie, I was wondering where the dog was,
Foreign-
and then the dog pops
Maybe
up,
the
and then the
dog-
dog's out the window, and I was like, he doesn't look like he got punched
maybe
or
the
pushed.
dog has a bad brain like my dog did.
Or the
Watch
dog-
the
No,
Toy
that
Story
dog was
2
super
review
smart.
to get that.
Yeah.
And also, why did Trish run back into the basement? I also want to know that.
And why
I
did-
love when that guy dies and he just keeps going, he's killing me!
Yes!
He's killing me! That's how I want to die, Newt.
through
I want to
the
be
window.
stabbed. Just go, hey, everybody, I'm being murdered!
I'm very famous.
I'm very famous! Ah!
And it's got twins in it.
It does have. I
Right,
did like
British
the
twins, and the dude wears little tiny shorts. Like I'm glad I grew up in the age I did because I wouldn't like. How do your balls not fall out?
Yeah, tiny shorts are great. Real men wear tiny shorts. Haven't you seen Sleepaway Camp?
I have.
The shorter your shorts, the cooler you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
We should start dressing like that. Short shorts, high socks, mesh half tops.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and a neckerchief.
The kid, the one cool thing about the ending is like Tommy just doesn't kill Jason. He like goes insane.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you could have had the knife slash and that would have been fine. But then he's like, die, Jason, die, Jason.
And I like how many times there's.
Tommy!
I like how many times too that there's hacks already in the wall from previous take that they're just like.
yeah, this is pretty
nobody
good. This is pretty
cares."
good.
I was expecting Tommy and Trish to throw in the masks, or was it Trish or whoever? It
Like,
was.
how funny would it be if they all put on the monster
Yeah, sure.
mask and Jason's like, ah, like, ah!
Okay,
Whoa, what's this?
if Jason is that dumb to not realize the little kid is not himself as a child, what do you think he would do if he put on one of those
What
masks? 'Cause
what
those
if he
masks
put
are
on the?
badass.
They put it on the back, the alien mask. Would Jason be like, ah?
Aliens! I didn't sign up for this. Jason runs out in the street and gets hit by a car. And then gets picked up by the teenagers from Alienator, and then that movie happens, and then an alien bounty hunter has to come and stop Jason.
I
Now,
like this movie now.
before we move on to 5,
Yes.
we have to talk about the most important thing in this movie:
What's that?
Crispin Glover's dancing.
Yes. I got.
It's like,
Oh.
that is the best goddamn dance.
He was Five has a good dance too.
Five
no,
no.
great.
Five has a good dance. This is a funny dance.
So he was dancing to.
I just loved. I had that gif of him going like,
He was dancing
great.
to AC/DC Back in Black.
yeah.
But then they were like, oh, we can't afford that. So it's by Lion,
Yes.
who has a song on the Transformers 1986 animated movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, what dance was more erotic? His dance or the character in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2's dance?
Oh, 2 is my favorite, because that's literally,
great one.
literally how I clean my office here. Hold me, baby.
I've seen him,
Drive
yeah.
me crazy.
Yeah, so Crispin Glover's dance is amazing.
Yes.
And he should
And you can
always do
tell,
that.
like, you look at him and you go, oh, that dude's going to be a famous weirdo one day.
Yes.
He's one day going to play Grendel in a forgettable CGI Beowulf movie.
He's going to be the creepy thin man in the Charlie's Angels films.
That was weird, right?
That was
like he
weird.
got to be in those. Like, but he's the best part. He's
going
also,
to be Willard in the Willard remake.
and then he sang the Ben song, the Michael Jackson song.
Yeah.
When?
They remade Willard. It's about a guy who's
know,
a weirdo
yeah,
with a rat,
yeah.
and Michael Jackson sang the original song. Ben, the two of us.
Wait, the
need
weirdo
look
and with the
no more."
rat.
It was a movie called Ben, about a dude.
No,
who was
Ben
friend-
was the sequel.
Oh,
Willard
Ben was the
Yeah,
sequel.
I'm
Willard was
confused.
Ben was the song.
But yeah, because Willard had a rat called Ben.
Yeah.
That was his friend.
And then Crispin.
For a second,
Forget
I started
it.
thinking
Just
flowers for Algernon.
forget
And then Crispin Glover in the remake sang the Ben song.
It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh my
so
God.
Jason's dead. It's the final chapter.
It's the final countdown.
What do you call your next movie? A
It's-
New Beginning. Now, I'm going to read you the back of the box. This one has one of the most.
Hate the
This and Jason Goes to Hell are probably the least well received.
Yeah, this is the somehow Halloween 3 and 4 of the series.
Yes.
Yeah.
So IMDb actually rated this a 4.8 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes rated this as a 19.
it also has the second best boobs in horror movie history.
You are so obsessed with
I
these
am
movies. He hasn't
super
stopped talking about it
obsessed
for
with
a
boobs.
week.
So, and this one's
Two
fresh
sets of
because we were just
boobs.
watching it. So
No,
every-
3 sets. The girl whose real last name is Voorhees.
Yes.
The girl who goes, it's showtime.
I remember the
And then the
Showtime.
redheaded girl who gets killed on the bunk bed.
Right.
Did
Yeah.
she actually show her?
Yeah,
Yes.
she shoes her. She dies naked, topless.
Yeah, we just watched it on Blu-ray
Yeah.
on a giant ass screen. We know.
And then Reggie the Reckless walks in after she rejected the stuttering guy. He's like, I want to make love to you, and she's
Yeah,
like,
I don't remember.
All right, I got
whatever.
questions
don't
about the
remember her
plot.
being topless. I remember her being
No,
in
she's
a bra.
topless. She's
Yeah.
topless.
But anyway, listen.
She is, because she goes to bed in her underwear, and I remember thinking,
Yeah.
So everyone knows Jason is not the killer in this
Mm-hmm.
one. It is Roy Burns. We'll get into that in a second.
Fucking Roy Burns.
So I can see why people, if they missed this in theaters and didn't know who bought this on VHS, would be a little disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the back of the box, and we don't have it physically on us.
Yeah.
Jason is back.
Oh my God.
Hockey mask and all. Nope.
no.
And he's up to his old maniacal tricks.
When
I
did
don't
I
know if Jason's a trickster.
No.
No.
Michael Myers is a trickster.
Freddy
Yes.
Krueger's a
Freddy
trickster.
Krueger is
yeah.
a trickster. Jason,
Chucky's a trickster.
Yes.
Jason's not
The
really.
trickster from The Flash is a trickster.
He is.
Yeah.
In both universes, he's Mark Hamill.
Yes, he is.
3 universes, really. Friday the 13th, part
All right,
5.
he's in the animated one too.
Yeah.
Remember the one where he's like, got me again, Flash.
Turn yourself in, okay. Friday the 13th, part 5, A New Beginning. This time he seems to have set his sights on the young patients at a secluded halfway house. I have a lot of questions about the halfway
Me
house.
too.
It's not technically a halfway house.
Justin,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
wait,
whoa, whoa.
hold on.
Okay. And more than a few of his teen targets end up in half. In quarters, you name it, Jason does it. This is the 5th scary installment in the Friday the 13th saga. Saga?
Saga.
If you like the first 4 and think you're up to getting back on Jason's bloody trail,
If you
you'll
like
love.
if you like the first 4, This is another one.
You'll love Friday the 13th, Part 5, New Beginning. And so the whole thing here is Jason.
Nothing about Tommy. Not a
Yeah, nothing
single
about
thing
Tommy. They don't give a
Tommy's
shit.
in
This
the.
is literally about Tommy.
So it starts with Corey Feldman.
Yeah, they had him for a day.
They had him for a day, and they filmed it in his neighbor's yard.
yeah.
He was making Goonies at the same time,
Right.
and then
Rest in peace, Richard Donner, who died recently.
Yes,
Even though I don't like that movie, I really like Richard
I
Donner.
fucking love Goonies.
Okay.
And he's in Goonies. He's wearing a Purple Rain T-shirt. I have the exact same T-shirt.
Okay.
I've been called Mouth many of times, mostly by the ladies.
Keep going.
Which ladies are you talking to?
You don't know them. They live in Canada.
They're hunting Wolverines.
Yeah, they're hunting Wolverines. What if Jason was a killer and from Canada? That's why he wears a hockey mask. Yeah.
That would make so much more sense.
Get back here. What are y'all running about?
It turns out
Be a lot
Elias
nicer.
Todd Voorhees, his father, was a famous hockey player.
No, he was a famous fur trapper. Like
a fur trapping hockey
Yeah.
player. So anyway,
he's gonna make poutine out of you if you go out to that summer camp. I tell you.
so yeah, it starts at Corey Feldman, and then there's just two guys that are more than thrilled to dig up Jason Voorhees.
And they're screaming, yeehaw and woohoo the entire time.
Again, this is another one.
New Jersey, we are.
I was like, that's a little off.
Yeah, I guess the Pine Barrens.
By the way, again,
Boonton, New Jersey, is where the
Is it?
first one was shot.
no.
Because I've been to that camp.
Listen,
I've been to all of those South Jersey play Boone.
No, it's not in. It's in North Jersey.
but by the way, I know this is a dream, but in the next one, there is a grave. Like, there's no way the cops could prove that was Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, he
There's
was
there's no possible way.
They just grabbed one of the teenagers and went, "Pff, good enough. Because they say in this one that he was cremated. Because he's
Yes.
like, and he dumps the ashtray on him. Remember?
Right.
Yeah.
Huh, that
Yeah,
causes problems with the
I-
next
I
one.
wrote that
When
down.
the mayor is like, we can't close the summer camp because it's summer dollars.
I've seen those.
I know how this works.
So they're trying to dig up Jason, and then Jason comes back and kills him. It's actually a really cool Jason design. They
I like-
finally made an action figure out.
I like that they
Really?
buried him
Yeah,
with
from
his
NECA.
machete too.
Huh?
They buried him with his machete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his machete and his mask.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Well,
Why?
Lugosi was buried in his Dracula cape.
That's true.
You know.
But it's but you have a
I
murderer
know,
who
but
murdered
look,
tons of kids.
this movie was
Also, it's a dream sequence.
I know,
so-
and this movie was directed by the director of Savage Streets, which I love. Savage
Okay.
Streets is a fucking awesome movie. Leanna,
Oh wait, Linda Blair.
Linda Blair.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Justice for one, justice for all.
I don't know how much I could do with
the
this
dude,
dancing
yeah.
and sing along. today.
I'm gonna do the dance later of the dance.
Oh
of
yeah,
the man with no
Crystal, if you don't think
in
we're
his eyes.
dancing again, come on. Anyway,
It's directed by the guy who made Savage Streets
yes,
and the writer of Savage Streets, who also wrote Porn.
yes,
And you chose in this movie
it really does.
because everyone is a sleazy fucking porno scumbag.
I think
No,
the
it has
last-
nothing. Not
no.
even just the sleaze. It's got like they savagely murder a mentally challenged man. Which, when we get to that, I'll tell you how my interaction with Crystal went last night when she asked me about that. So Tommy is now an adult man,
yes,
and he's got emotional problems because he
And-
killed Jason to death.
right, and he's going to the Crystal. What is it? Because they say halfway house, and there are people there. I'm like, okay,
What
this
is-
could be a halfway house, but then it seems like a home for troubled teens.
Yes, that's
mixed
what it
with,
says.
like-
I actually wrote it down because I was like, what is this place?
Is their funding so bad that they're like, we've combined the halfway house with the home for troubled kids? And it's like, that seems like a terrible idea.
How about there's a really troubled guy, but he's allowed to
it's-
chop wood?
The sign says Pinehurst Youth Development Center. But to me,
Charles Xavier School for Gifted Individuals, or however the fuck that goes.
Tommy doesn't look like a youth anymore. He looks older than 18.
Let's keep in
A
mind.
lot of these people look older than fucking 18.
Yeah.
I
So-
was like, these are adults now. It's not a youth development
So
center.
Crystal, how old is Tommy in this one?
Do they mention it?
He's supposed to be like
I miss it?
16 or 18.
Yeah, so this is like, I don't
He
know,
has
like
to be under 18.
this is
if
like
he's going to this place.
10 years after 4. We're still
Yeah.
in the 80s. We're going to be in the 80s for a long
Again,
time.
why I think it could be Canada, because the 90s didn't get there until 2004.
By the time we get to
Canada.
part 9, it's
America's hat.
technically Freddy vs. Jason has to be in like 2049. If
No, we're already in the Jason X future if we follow these movies, you know.
the beginning of Jason X might have been taking place in 2010. Let's fact check that. So yeah, He's going to the halfway house for troubled youth.
Yeah, like so I had friends who, well, not friends, but people who used to come into the comic book store who were in a group home. There was a group home near the thing, and I would ask them, I was like, oh, is it like Friday the 13th Part 5? And they'd be like, don't minimize our troubles. Like, my mom is on meth, and I became a ward of the state, but no, yeah, it's just like Friday the 13th Part 5.
Anyway, dude, that was an amusing anecdote.
Too bad it got cut out.
So Tommy Jarvis.
And it's not going on Patreon because that's how dark it was.
Tommy Jarvis sucks in this. I get he has PTSD and he's all like moody and stuff, but like it sucks.
I prefer this Tommy than 6.
Yeah, I
You
do
guys
too.
are both-
Yeah.
You
prefer
say that
Tommy.
this
in
actor-
front of my signed copy by Thom Matthews, who we all met at the same time.
I met him when I met him. He signed my not this time at Monster Mania. He signed my Return of the Living Dead. Yeah,
Yes.
Bitch, I forgot to bring Return of the Living Dead for him to sign.
there you go.
God damn
He
it.
fucked up.
Anyway,
We could probably get him to come here.
probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, we meet all these characters here. There is breakdance goth girl,
Breakdance goth
Violet.
girl, Violet.
There is angry chop wood guy. There's
Who looks like a character out of Savage Streets almost, you know?
there's candy bar guy who becomes a big character.
He sure
he
does.
really kickstarts the plot.
Yeah.
And then there's Trisha's favorite character. What was it? TJ? RJ?
The stuttering guy?
No, the little
Oh.
kid.
Oh no, Reggie the Reckless.
Reggie. And
Reggie's
and his grandpa.
fantastic.
Trisha, apparently, she doesn't remember anything. She thinks like she mixes up Michael Myers and Jason movies all the time. She didn't know which one this was, but
You afraid of a spider?
she has that entire thing memorized. Because the one time we were playing Friday the 13th, and she's like, oh, I remember the one. And then she did it verbatim. And I'm like, you don't even know what movie that is. You didn't even know if it was a Michael Myers movie, but you memorized every single line
He
from
was
that scene.
he was in
He was Buckwheat and Little Rascals,
I remember
the TV
that,
show,
yeah.
and Dudley and Different Strokes, and was in Family Matters.
That's right. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
He is the most successful
Well, he was-
person. Like actor
really
in this
is.
entire-
And he has
Like,
one of
was
the-
my favorite
He has one of
character
the
in this
best
movie.
screams in
Yes.
any of these movies.
His entire character was fucking amazing in this movie.
So he likes-
fucking wins.
I like that Tommy Jarvis is still making masks in the future.
Yeah.
And still being scary.
Wouldn't he have known by then that everything would be replaced by CGI
No, he
because it
didn't.
takes place in the future?
Oh yeah, you know what? This is in 2003. So yeah, Tommy Jarvis, he's adjusting to the new living situation. The owners, they treat them like the people who open up. They realized they couldn't do camps anymore.
Yeah.
So they're like, whatever
There's
this is.
blonde-haired lady, and then the guy
I like
is
how you
the
guys have
dude.
no idea what their
the
names
guy
are.
is the dude who gave Indiana Jones his hat. Yeah,
It is.
you lost today, kid. Doesn't mean you have to like it.
Yes. And then
And then the guy who played Henry Jones Sr.'s hands is the guy who was in the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
Well, there's
Good.
also the girl who plays Robin, who's at the home. She was Sheila in Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Yeah, I knew that. Yep.
Fucking love that movie.
Oh, no, yeah, I did watch it.
Danced my ass off in that movie.
And then the guy who
oh,
played
you're allowed to
I
dance.
fucking-
But when we did,
Crystal's allowed to dance.
I'm not dancing at the. Yeah. No, this is not how I dance. I dance like this. Okay, it's way better.
No,
well, that's how people
This
would have
is
danced
way
in
better.
2003.
That's how I dance at the club, guys.
so the whole plot gets kicked
luck with
off
that.
when who's Chocolate Bar guy again?
Joey.
Joey. Was it Joey? Why did I
Joey.
think it was
Yeah.
Franklin?
So, all right. So,
Joey.
Can we explain this scene?
so they're outside and they're doing laundry and chopping wood, and Joey
We
comes
totally
out.
miss Ethel, by the way.
Which
Ethel
one's
was
Ethel?
before this. The neighbors.
Oh no, we're
Okay,
getting
yeah,
to
we'll
them.
get
We're
there.
getting
We'll
to
get
them.
there.
Okay, but go ahead. Talk
yeah,
about
so
Joey.
so Joey is a plump, mentally challenged man,
Very mentally challenged.
and he's like, "Oh, I've never done laundry before," and he's eating a chocolate bar, and he gets chocolate all over the laundry.
It's weird. I feel like modern audiences would say this is an offensive portrayal, but I've met people who are actually like this. So I'm like, this might be like a thing. Like I heard Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah.
People really shit on him for his performance. And then like,
I think he's great in that movie.
no. There are actual like people on the spectrum that are like, yeah, no, he gets it. Like there's people like, no, that's how.
Yeah,
some of
like
us
it's
act.
not like this is more of a simple Jack than that, you know.
But no, this one I've worked with people
Yeah.
like this, so it's one of those like
So have I.
people are like, oh, this is offensive, and I'm like, no, I just don't think you want to.
I
I've
used
met
to
a couple
know.
of fans of the show there.
Wow.
Not this show, the other show I was on.
Oh, okay.
Silver Mania.
Wow.
Keep going.
I used to volunteer at an alternative school with a lot of kids with disabilities and stuff like that. You just see a complete different spectrum
Yeah.
where you're not sure. It's very slight to severe. So you can't, everyone's different.
Yeah,
you
I know.
can't fucking say, oh,
So
that
you-
person's.
Yeah.
So you worked with kids? Did I ever tell you I for one summer I taught inner city youth how to like make videos and stuff.
Did you go? Hey, gang.
Oh my God.
I wonder if I can find the video. I might still have the video.
No, I
So-
think that's still in an evidence locker in the
No,
state
no.
of Pennsylvania.
So yeah, it was some stupid internship I had, but the kids were really cool, and
Yeah.
I would
The
teach
kids
them
are
how.
usually the
I would teach them
best.
how to shoot videos and edit and stuff, and the people I were working for were like idiots. But none of their equipment worked. I had to have all the kids edit on my laptop because their computer was broken. But at the end of the semester, they wanted to make a slasher movie. And the two people in charge of the program, they got like angry, and I'm like, "Well, you're telling these kids to be all
Why?
creative. Just let them do a slasher movie." And they made me dumb white principal.
I kind of want.
That's amazing.
Keep in mind, I'm the only white guy in the building. The
I
teachers,
wanna
everyone.
see this film
So they were like-
bad.
I want the Tony remake of Dangerous Minds now. It's been emotional.
So yeah, they made me dumb white principal, and like I went on, I went all in on it. I'm like, kids, give me anything you want me to say, I'll do it.
Are we comparing though inner city kids right now to kids with disabilities?
No.
No,
as
you
far
just
as,
said you worked with kids, and then I remembered. I'm
So
like,
you're just
oh.
like, hey, I worked with kids once.
And I'm like, oh, I also worked with
How do we
kids, and because this working with kids in slasher, they got connected to
Yeah.
my brain. I gotta find the footage of me
Wow,
being
connect
dumb,
the dots
and like the
somehow.
teachers are like, we don't think they should be like making you dumb white principal. I'm like, nah, I'm cool with it. I'm all.
but why?
like
you're
that.
dumb and white. I don't see the problem. If anything, they typecasted you.
We had a running gag where at the one kid, his name was John, but my character would only call him Steve or Urkel. My character just couldn't get his name right. If I can find the footage, I'll put it up because it's pretty funny.
would
So
love to
so
see it.
Joey he messes up the sheets and everybody gets mad at him. So he goes over to Vic, and Vic is the troubledest of the troubled youth.
He's very, by the way, I don't think he's a troubled youth. He looks like he's in his 30s.
Yeah, and he's chopping wood, and Joey is like,
Which
oh,
would be fine if
Yeah.
this was a halfway
Yeah.
house, but it
But
also
it's
seems
not.
like
It literally
Yeah.
says youth development. Youth
Yeah.
is eight. Is
What if he was
under
just
18.
there? What if when the cops came, they're like, I don't know, that guy just showed up and started chopping wood.
we thought he was one of the neighbors. Like,
He couldn't fit in with the
yeah.
Yeah, so he just wants to be left alone.
Yeah, and Joey comes over and offers him a chocolate bar. He's like, I'm going to put it here and you can have some. And he cuts it in half.
You're really out of line.
I think you're really out of line, Vic. So he goes to walk away, and then Vic is like, let me ask you a question.
So Vic murders him.
Yeah. So
Murders
Crystal
him to death.
Yeah, so Crystal goes, last night she's watching it and you're messaging me and you're like, man, I feel so bad for Joey. So I said, oh yeah, hold on a second. Let me tell you about Joey.
asshole.
So if everybody right now, because we're not going to talk about it, look up the name of this actor and then just Google him. And just, I don't know, Google what was said about him before he
Are
died.
there any police reports to back anything you're up saying?
The person's mother went on record.
All right, then say allegedly he did some things.
He did
I
some
feel bad for
things.
the character Joey.
I don't.
You got to separate the art
character.
from the artist.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me just go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so he dies, and then one of the meat wagon guys show
Yeah.
up, and one of them seems to be very disturbed by this dead body. What a weird thing for a guy
Looking
from the morgue to do.
Directly into, well, I mean, to be fair, like, they were like, oh, everyone else who worked here died here, like, in the hospital. Like,
Honestly, they should have
fucking-
been prepared for
yeah,
this.
like,
Yeah.
I Spoonie got his head cut off. Like,
Yeah.
he just wanted to
they-
watch some
Well, the
fucking aerobics.
Other paramedic literally goes, "Wow, y'all bunch of pussies and stuff like that." I was
As
like,
he's
Like, come on,
chewing
Roy,
gum.
get your
Yeah.
hands dirty.
Yes, I was like, wow, they're
Yeah,
really like
and then
this
Roy
shit.
looks at the camera, but they want you to believe that Tommy is the killer.
But they linger on Roy too much, and I got issues
Yes.
with Roy.
Yeah.
Not for the same as other people do. Yeah, so then people start getting killed.
People start getting
Can
killed.
we go back to Ethel because we missed that? That
All right.
happens before.
So there
the
are
laundry
neighbors. There are
scene.
neighbors that do not like the halfway house for troubled youth who are in their
fucking
30s.
Love them.
So Ethel, go ahead.
This bitch comes in on a motorcycle that her son is driving. You don't even realize, like, you have
Her
no
son,
idea.
who should probably be
At the home.
He's probably a little worse than
He
the
and
rest.
Joey really would be a battle of the wits there. It's a real Mensa membership
Yes,
going on at that
I think
halfway house.
Joey is way more intelligent than
So
Junior.
Ethel is a mainstay of 70s Burt Reynolds movies.
Yes.
And she didn't have a wig for the audition, so Burt Reynolds gave her that wig. It's from Sharky's Machine, where she plays a prostitute in it.
That's funny.
And she wore the wig, and they loved it so much that she had to remember to do the wig. So I like that there's a connection between Burt Reynolds and Friday the 13th. I just think that's a cool idea.
Are they the first ones to get killed?
No, they get killed way
no.
later.
Way
Yeah.
later.
Remember, he's riding
Like,
his
towards
motorcycle
the end.
around.
I was in and out while this was.
She
playing.
just
Oh, yeah,
keeps
it's at
making
the end.
stew.
And
that-
she eventually,
right.
spits in this dude because Junior's not listening. She makes the best
I like when she
stew.
calls him a big fucking dildo, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
So-
her. She flips everyone off constantly, curses at everyone, says she has a bomb in her jacket.
Oh,
talking
yeah.
to the police officer.
I love when
you
she's like,
fucking
tell
touch
her
me, I
son-
blow everyone up.
Don't you come near me, Sheriff. I warn you. I got a bomb on me. I swear to you. You make one move toward me, I'm gonna blow us all up.
Don't
This
fucking
woman,
touch
now that I
me.
think about it, this woman's a lot like your mom.
So the rest of the movie is basically Jason is killing people.
But he's wearing a mask with blue check marks on it.
Blue check marks.
Yeah.
I
But
think
you
we're
don't-
called chevrons.
You don't question.
Mm.
You don't actually see him towards the end. Is that correct? You don't actually see.
It's
what
kind of like
Jason
3.
looks
They're not
like.
really
Yeah.
showing him
Yes,
too much.
they
Because
only
remember,
see
they
the
want you to think
action.
it's Tommy.
Yes.
And Tommy even, they drive the point home when Tommy does karate on Ethel's
How
son.
the fuck did he learn all those moves? Where? How?
Well,
and then when
they
he
probably watched a
actually
lot of Kung Fu
battles
movies.
10-year
Jason-
gap, like fucking Bruce Wayne.
But he's so mad. He also does it at breakfast.
Yeah, I like when he takes the
Literally
fucking.
flips
he
them.
flips it. Oh, they set an extra plate for Joey.
2 extra
And they're
plates
like,
for
"Oh,
Joey and
I'm gonna
Yoga."
miss Joey," and I'm like, "No, you're not.
No.
No, you're fucking not."
So yeah, so they'll do a scene like that, and then immediately afterwards, the 2 hillbillies get killed. Apparently, you could just put a meat cleaver out like that and cut
Well,
the
that's
consent.
way later.
Yeah.
I know,
The
but
two
I'm just
people-
saying the point of the
yeah.
movie, like they want you to think it's Tommy.
You don't see it.
The two
Yeah, you
people
don't see
fuck in the
person.
woods. They get
That
killed.
is okay. That is the most iconic kill
Yes.
from this, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
they
It
re-
was supposed to be 3 minutes long,
and they cut it down.
There's actually 16 scenes that were edited so it could actually be rated R.
I remember seeing this movie as a kid, and her boobs
all
were a
he kept
massive
talking
influence on me.
Pretty friggin'
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
great, but the movie right before has so many more.
Yeah, but they were just different. This just hit different.
This is when 80s boobs were turning into 90s boobs.
Yeah. She was like a Miss Body Texas
Yeah.
or something like that. And she has the last name Voorhees in real life. So
But yeah, her death is pretty, even though you don't really see it,
Yeah.
it's pretty brutal because she gets the garden shears through the eyes. And in the video game, when you play as Roy, his default weapon is the garden shears.
But have
That's
you ever
very
seen the dude from The League with John LeJeune?
Jean Lajoie.
Jean Lajoie
yes. I've
made a
seen this
music video
about
where
how it haunted him.
It haunted him because he
Yes.
saw it as a kid, and the music video is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And he saw it as a kid, and he sees this naked lady for the first time. He's like, "Oh my god!" And then she gets killed.
Oh, dude.
And it haunts him.
When me and my friend Anthony,
Yeah.
and I think another friend of ours, we rented this from Blockbuster one day. And we're like, yeah, Friday the 13th Part 5. Neither of us have seen it. Let's watch it. And we were like, holy shit, look at those boobs.
Yeah, but I think
We
like,
also like the It's Showtime one. That's
Yes.
good.
Those were great. I like that scene. That was
The random
great.
diner people.
well, like the fucking dude.
Well, that was the guy that was also in the van.
Yeah.
Dropping off Tommy.
yeah.
I
so
guess
he's-
so, but what do they?
I thought for the
There's
longest
nothing.
time he was the Micro Machine Man.
Oh, that's right.
But he's not. And he's like, but he looks like he's doing coke, and he looks like a guy who doesn't really do drugs, but
Yeah.
like he wants people to think he's cool. And he's like, ho, and like that. But then it's like, I want to move to that town because a guy like him got the blonde chick,
Yeah.
and I think there could be hope for me.
Yeah. And then one other kill we'll mention. The one that had to be like redone.
Yeah, when the girl's like, "There's a man with no."
Oh, can we
blood
dance?
in
Can we
his-"
do it? Can we do it? Right. Another dance scene.
I'm just gonna let it.
Crystal, did you know you were in a robot factory?
Crystal's jealous of her dancing.
Yeah, it's our sick moves.
I
So so that girl, so we just skipped over everything.
We're gonna just join. Well, we're doing 3. We're condensing it. We all know he kills a bunch of people.
Yeah, he kills a bunch of people, but she got stabbed in the crotch and then yanked up. But they said, yo, that's offensive even for the porno writer guy. And he's like, yeah, you're probably right. So they changed it. She just gets stabbed in the stomach, and then Reggie the Reckless finds all the bodies, and then the fucking. So Roy is just a normal dude.
Yes.
But he bursts through the wall like the fucking Kool-Aid man.
Yes.
As Reggie is dressed like a Red Klansman for some reason.
Yeah. Weird.
And then so he bursts through the door like that.
I have so many issues.
He gets slashed and he's fine. He gets run over.
I started hating it.
Yeah, he gets run over by like a fucking like bulldozer. He's
Fucking
fine.
yeah,
Fine.
And-
This is my issue though, because he gets up though, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
When the fuck were he got stabbed a couple times, like small stabs. When the fuck did Jason
Crystal,
ever get a
listen.
small stab
Hold
and
on.
then felt wounded?
Here's the thing. There's a man with no light in his eyes.
Anyway.
And that's all you need to know.
You're right. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, there was like one scene, there's another scene with Roy where he starts to hint that he's turning evil.
Well, he's like, oh, you talking to me, Chief? And about the killer, and then he just looks back at the camera, and
Yeah,
you're
yes.
like, all right, well, Roy's
So
the killer.
yeah, so the twist is, and by the way, when we were kids watching this, we were like, "What the fuck? It's not Jason!" Because
Yeah.
like the fun part of these later movies is like, "Oh, when's he gonna get his mask knocked off so you can see his face?" So it's like, "Oh, also he knows how to make like latex masks
Yes.
and head."
It's
thing.
weird because you kind of see something when they're in the barn. You kind of
Maybe
see
he
a
was
slit
in
kinda
cahoots
thing.
with Tommy.
Maybe.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, did someone just steal? Like, did he just steal one of his?
Maybe
Also,
that's
does
what
masks?
he has a chainsaw in this, or someone fights him
She
with a
fights him with a
Right,
With
right.
the
yeah.
chainsaw.
Because people always misremember Jason having a chainsaw.
Yes.
Yeah, well, because they're remembering National Lampoon's Christmas
Yes,
Vacation.
they are. He has some kind of equipment in a later movie, but
Yeah.
never a chainsaw.
But also, he doesn't
So-
have blue eyes. It kept looking at his eyes. Jason's actually face, and I always get like little antsy with this when I see it, and you can see both of his eyes.
Yeah.
The actual Jason, his eyes are a little disformed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And-
he's a mongoloid.
So here's
But he
he's
doesn't
supposed
have
to
these
be.
piercing blue eyes, and they keep showing Jason. And I'm like, his body doesn't look like that. He's not walking like Jason. He's got these blue eyes.
Well, I
And
mean,
you
how
know,
many
they
Michael Myers actors didn't
Yeah.
play the
But
character
also,
the
Tommy
same?
doesn't have blue eyes either. I don't think. I think he has brown eyes.
Oh, he has contacts.
I don't know.
But listen. The thing is, it's like, what's his name? Joey is all like, yeah, I'm an orphan. And everyone's like, no one, his mom died. No one knows who the dad is.
But the dad lived a town
So
away.
apparently the dad is like the town coroner.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad knew that was his son.
Yeah.
To the point he had a recent picture of him in his wallet. He's
I gotta
carrying his
pee
wallet.
really bad. I'll be back in 1 second. Keep going. I've had like 3 beers. Just stop. I want to be.
No, you haven't. You had one. It's all the champagne
Of beers.
of one beer.
I'm waiting until that son of a bitch gets back.
Oh, okay. Do you want to keep dancing?
Is
Is that really your bro?
Try it.
Okay, ready?
That
Did I do it?
Oh my god!
Did I do it?
No, you went too much. You're just supposed to go
Do
like
I
this.
just-
Right. You're supposed to go like this. Right. There you go.
I used to want to learn how to break dance. I know a little break dancing.
You seem like
A little bit. What? I
I
seem
feel
like what?
You seem like Napoleon Dynamite.
I'm not. I'm actually.
Are you
a
ready to
dancer.
dance? Yes.
No, I actually dance. I am actually a hip hop dancer, and I get hired to dance at events, not strip, but no.
You're a hip hop dancer, but you haven't been dancing the whole time we dance. We're having a
I didn't
dance
want to show
party.
you guys up. I guess.
It's
I mean, you guys
impossible.
are so good
It's
at
impossible.
dancing.
I'm an amazing dancer.
You are. Can we say it again?
Look,
Can you just?
I
go?
like this. I got this. What was that show? The In-Betweeners. The one guy break dances, but he does this thing with his arm where it's like a tail. And like,
I want to see you battle John Travolta really bad.
I wanted to be like John
Can we
Travolta
do
when
it?
I was a kid, and by that I mean just dance like him because I was real into Grease as a kid.
Oh, I hate Grease. I hate that fucking shit.
Oh
I'm a musical
no!
theater kid. I hate
No, Grease is awesome.
I
It's the
hate
word. It's the
Grease.
word that you heard.
I hate Grease.
I love that the director was so pissed they put a modern disco song in his 50s throwback movie. It's literally the opening theme song. He's like, why would they put a disco song in there? That doesn't make any sense.
I choose Hairspray over Grease. Have you seen Hairspray?
I saw the remake with John Travolta.
That's the one I'm talking about. I preferred that over Grease. I fucking cry watching that at the end every
I
time.
love
I know the
Grease.
full dance too.
Let me guess, you're a Grease 2 person?
I fucking hate all Grease.
You don't want a cool rider?
No.
Want a cool
No.
rider?
No,
I
hate
want a
Grease.
cool. How do you not like
It's
Grease?
so stupid. No, like maybe it's because I've seen it so many times. I'm just like tired of it. I hate it.
You know
I
what?
hate
You
it.
know what, Crystal? You're not the one that I want. How about that?
I'm okay with that.
All right, where do we leave off?
So yes, this whole Roy thing doesn't make any goddamn sense
No.
to me. So he did it. He knew he had a kid. He had an updated picture in his wallet. Somehow he's getting pictures of his son and putting them in his wallet, and he never bothered to
do you
check
remember?
out the kid.
Well, hold on. Remember?
Did they ever get did I miss something? Did they give a reason?
It was
Or-
answered in Futurama because remember Leela's parents in the sewer always were following her and like they gave her like birthday presents from the sewer and stuff like that.
Yes!
So this movie inspired Matt Groening and he was just like, "Oh, well, I have to make sure that Leela doesn't turn out like
She's not an alien. She's a mutant.
like Joey
So
and molest Corey Haim."
God.
Oh no, I spoiled it.
allegedly. So it makes no goddamn
The
sense.
picture that he carries of himself is the funniest part.
Because it's
like
a picture from the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like I have a picture of myself in my wallet.
Yeah.
It's called my driver's license. He has just a glamour shot.
No,
of
that was the
himself.
thing in the 90s. Parents had pictures of like their kids. There were little plastic sleeves for photos, but no
Yeah.
one carries photos anymore in their wallet. So
Do you not know that? I actually have gotten plenty of little cards, like school pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get wallet. That's why there's literally wallet-sized photos that you keep
No, I know that,
in
but
your wallet.
I know what they are. My parents never carried a picture of me.
because they got to see your beautiful face every day. And they called you recently, and you've
No, it turns out that was not really my parents.
that wasn't your dad.
No, because
What?
here's the funny part. So I texted my dad, and I was like, "Oh man, I got your voicemail with a smiley face." And then I went on to explain what we're doing now, just thinking that would be a funny thing to break the ice. And my aunt texted me and goes, "I don't think you get it. Your dad doesn't want to talk to you." I don't understand.
So you're saying someone called our voicemail line,
And
which you
lied.
can hear on the podcast version of the show, or if you're a patron, you get the video version, and they just lied?
You know, if the My Pillow guy is right, that dude's gonna be in power again. Why is my dad so mad?
Does that mean that my mom, who apologized for
No, that was
not-
your mom.
That was
That
your
was-
mom. Yeah, that wants
Yeah.
you two to be together.
Yes. Okay.
that
okay.
was actually your mom.
And
I
I-
still think it's weird. She said, "Sorry, I don't sound Italian," when my mom is not Italian. I
Well,
thought
she's
that was
ve-
bizarre.
well, that's
very
why
old.
she's
That's true.
she's apologizing that she doesn't sound
She's
Italian
not being
because
Italian.
She's
Yeah.
not Italian.
Anyway,
She's been taking Rosetta Stones.
so Roy doesn't make any sense. So let's talk about Roy here. Ready?
Hold on, even before that, when Roy dies, like,
Oh, he falls into a bed of spikes,
but
which is kind of cool.
somebody was gonna
There's so many
There's-
questions.
troubled.
This is your favorite.
I know
one,
it's my
too.
favorite. There's troubled youth there, so maybe the insurance company goes, "Hey, we don't give the 42-year-old dude with the 1,000-yard stare and axe, and we don't just have exposed spikes." And maybe Reggie the Reckless and his grandfather shouldn't let him dress like a Red Klansman.
Wait,
No, all right. Trouble youth. Your child probably shouldn't be there in the first place, or anyone's child. I'm guessing maybe his parents don't exist or aren't around because they're
figments of his imagination.
His brother is literally living in a
Oh,
van with his girlfriend,
okay.
which we totally missed too.
We missed
Which is a great
Miguel
Oh my
Nunez
God.
Jr.,
I fucking
Miguel Nunez Jr.
there you go.
Joanna Man.
Spider.
Ooh, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby.
So I've never had to
is
take a
great.
shit because of enchiladas and needed someone to sing to me while I was shitting. Does that happen to you guys?
Well, it's like
It wasn't because he was. But
She
I mean,
started
she's like
singing to
shaking
him.
the porter potty though at first.
that's marriage material though. If she stands outside of a filthy fucking porta
And
potty
shakes it, I
while
love
you're
it.
shitting
She's fantastic.
from enchiladas, ooh, damn enchiladas. Demon was his name.
Demon, it is
There's
Demon.
not enough of him
Anita
in the
and
movie.
Demon.
Demon,
Yeah.
Spider, Joanna Man.
Mm-hmm.
DJ from Street Fighter. He was in Carnosaur 2, which
he was in Scooby Doo.
Was he?
He was.
Yeah.
Yes,
What was he
which
in
I covered
Scooby-Doo?
on this episode. He was in Scooby-Doo, which I reviewed, and he will be in an upcoming To Be Tuesday because we reviewed Carnosaur 2.
But what was he in Scooby-Doo?
He was the dude who like worked for Mr. Bean on the island.
He was like he knew about like the voodoo magic.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him.
I always forget he's.
I like him. This is really...
I always forget he's in this. Oh, we did more dancing when you were here.
Yeah, we did.
Nobody came to sing to me while I was in the bathroom.
I'm sorry.
I was just peeing, but
Anyway.
out of my butt.
So yeah, he's great in this. He gets killed with a bunch of spikes in the fucking
Yeah.
thing.
And this might
Wait.
that scene might be one of my earliest Friday the 13th memories.
Okay.
Because I remember turning on the TV and that scene was on. And so I played Little League at the time, and there were porta potties at the thing. And I remember being a kid, and when I went in the porta potty, thinking about that scene as I was running to go to the bathroom, because when I have to go to the bathroom, I really have to go to the bathroom, and you're wearing a cup and then
Yeah.
baseball pants, and I'm like, oh, I hope I don't pee on myself.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to say about Roy before we get to the fake out ending.
Yeah.
So his son dies that he didn't have a relationship with. He decides he needs to be a murderer. He murders the kids at the halfway house for troubled youth.
The
He
two
murders
gay leathermen.
the gay leathermen. He murders the biker hillbillies. He murders the fucking diner girl.
And
Who
the
does
other
he
guy,
forget
yep.
to murder?
The guy who murdered his son.
Right.
But I guess that's because he's like, hey, I can't just walk into the jail dressed as Jason because people would go, nope.
But he has full... I don't think this is a jail that has that much security. Have you seen... You literally
Well, yeah,
see their
in the
little
next
police-
movie, the jail is guarded by the dude who looks like the bad guy from Green Lantern.
But like,
So-
seriously, he could have killed him at any point.
So listen.
It was an insurance scam.
Listen. We talk about Batman a lot.
Yeah.
One of the things I like what Batman does, I liked what they did in Batman Begins where Joe Chill was dead.
Yeah. So there's no way to put your grief.
Yes. And they killed him in the comics too.
Yeah.
There's that famous scene. So like I like when someone kills Joe Chill because Batman can't take personal vengeance.
Has anybody ever done Netflix and Joe Chill?
No. Because it makes it less about personal vengeance.
Yeah.
One of the problems I have
Yes.
with Batman 89 making the Joker killing his parents. I'm like, well, now it's
Well, and it's the same thing he says to the 32-year-old who lives at his house. He's like, you'll run out into the night and looking for another one, another one. Yeah.
So it probably would have been better to have like the cops kill Vic.
yeah.
So then he's like, I'm so angry, but who will I take my anger out on? And much like Batman, he could have dressed up like a bat. Instead, like, it's weird that Vic's alive and then he just leaves the movie.
There should
And
be
it's
a
like,
whole...
And it-
what happened to that character?
If Bane can sneak into a prison,
Mm-hmm.
a high security prison, I think a police officer can as well.
What would they say to Vic? Like, they're like, hey, did you hear, like, everyone at that place got murdered? And he's like, oh, fuck, really?
I really lucked out.
I killed that annoying fat kid and I didn't get murdered? This is great.
And then they're like, by the way, no one would have gotten murdered if he didn't kill the annoying fat kid. It's like, and then
Well-
they have to explain. Like, he's like, well, he literally told me he was an orphan before he died. He's like, well, it turns out the coroner was his dad.
And he's
Vic's
like, wait, so the-
that's a big coincidence.
And yeah, Vic is like, wait, so the coroner in his town was his dad? Wait, he carried a picture of himself in his wallet. Wait, why are we there in the first place? We're in our 40s. Like,
What year is it?
why didn't they send Robin there? He was that age.
And then another thing about Roy, in the video game, they just call him Jason Part 5.
Yeah.
And like some of the kids playing the game, because when you knock off his mask, it's Roy's face in the latex
That's awesome.
thing. So like when that was happening, like the kids playing the game, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with his face? Like, because they're used to all the
Well,
zombie.
he's a Dick Tracy villain. He's
Yeah.
little face.
They're like, why does he have a face on his face? And I'm like, I'm playing there. I'm like, well, it's because.
And then they're like, shut up, old man.
Yeah.
And then I said, hey, when you guys start the boat, can you wait for me? And then they boat off the island, and then I get.
You should
murdered by
take
Jason.
revenge on those kids.
I will. Oh my god, I'm gonna do it.
And then when they find Tony's thing, it's like there's a picture of you and your wallet, and then there's a picture of me, which confuses them even more.
So then this movie, did this come out before Halloween 4? I think so.
Might have 80. This was
85.
85. Okay.
Oh yeah, before Halloween 4.
Yeah.
this movie ends where they set up that
Tommy
Tommy,
is the
because
new
like the
killer.
girl checks on him and then he's wearing
There's
the
a
hockey
fake out
mask.
too.
Yeah.
There's a fake out.
Yeah, because I saw that and I remember like he wakes up in the hospital bed and I'm like, why don't we stop giving these people machetes? You know? Maybe no one in New Jersey should have a machete.
Yeah.
And this is the second time you see him laying down the bed hearing these voices. He looks like the cover of Nightmare on Elm Street. I kept looking at that. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow,
Oh,
that
yeah.
actually looks just
There
like
were some
him.
pretty good visuals in this.
Yeah.
There
Camera
were.
works pretty good in this. Like when he's
And-
staring at the neon sign, I thought that was really
That
cool.
was good.
And beautiful big boobies.
I'm beautiful big boobies.
You will not stop talking about those boobs. You
love
really
those
love
boobs.
but those specific ones.
I
You've
do.
literally been talking about
I-
it every
I think,
day
so-
for
I
a
think
week.
someone's jealous of
Yeah,
it.
really, you know. Mm.
You just wait until I get enough money to
Anyway,
sum up.
All right, well,
I mean, like,
you should say,
I
well,
want to go like triple Z's.
like in Dirty Shame, the John Waters movie.
so they do the fake out ending where he's going to be Jason.
Yeah.
And then they don't deliver on it.
Because
hate it. I
he
hate
just
it.
so happens to have the like
Why?
they're like,
Why?
oh yeah, he happens
Why
to have a
does he
Jason.
have
Yeah.
the
How about like
mask?
when the guy who's doing the exact same scene from the end of Psycho where he explains the plot to you,
Yeah.
it comes and goes, no, you shouldn't have this. This is evidence, and then take it
Yes.
away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you also see Jason at the end of the bed. But is that supposed to be him as Jason? Because once again, it's Jason with both of his eyes being seen through the eye hole and blue eyes. And I'm like, is
No,
this-
I think that's supposed to represent the Jason from part 4.
But it doesn't look like him.
Well, none of them look like each other. They
No.
change every movie.
Yeah.
There is so much wrong with that. I'm like, this is also once again not him. And I
Plus,
think
the
mask
human
was
memory is
different.
not very good. Maybe that's how he.
Nobody,
reimagined
yeah,
it.
nobody is watching these movies for their deep intellectual plot.
No, that's not true. I hung out on Friday the 13th forums when I was a young teenager because girls didn't talk to me, and people were really digging into the plots and trying
Yeah.
to fix the continuity.
Well, 'cause- the next one was the one supposed to have his dad that they cut out.
They cut out, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
I always thought Crazy Ralph was his dad.
Yeah, this one's fine.
I like
It's
it.
not as bad as people. I know it's not Jason, but you still get Jason type kills. Like it's fine.
I love Pam in this, to be honest. I think she was one of my, her and Reggie, or
Mm-hmm. She's
Reggie.
just running around with a see-through
her.
white T-shirt in the
Okay.
rain with a child.
This is, I loved the way she looked. And
Mm.
she actually said she did not feel attractive in this entire movie.
Oh, she was hot.
Until she was, she's
Yeah.
stunning.
Don't say stunning. It's bad. No one will click on it.
No, she's brave as well because she faces.
We learned
off
from
against
Black Widow.
Jason.
You say something stunning and no one will watch, even though we
She's
were
beautiful.
clearly
She's hot.
joking.
She's sexy. I don't know. I'd
Yeah.
fuck her. But she's wearing a white t-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
completely see-through. So I guess you kind of can see her tits, right?
That's four
but
then.
She said, okay, I'll go with that. But she said that was the only time she felt attractive in the entire movie is during those scenes.
What's that woman's name?
Melanie Kinnaman?
Melanie. Come on.
Oh,
not
is this
watching
how
this.
you are the one making women feel better about themselves?
No,
Is this what
Melanie-
you're doing right now?
Melanie, you're beautiful, all right? And if anybody tells you that you're not beautiful, well, they're just a fucking hater, all right?
No, she's never going to watch this. We got to
No.
move on to part
You're
6.
trying really hard.
Okay,
Really desperate.
Melanie,
Fucking thirsty.
So
I
anyway,
am thirsty. My beer is empty.
part 6.
Thirsty news.
Yes.
Yes.
You're both idiots. This is the best one. It's got the funniest script. It's fucking hilarious.
This was in
Everyone loves this one.
This
I heard
apparently
everyone-
influenced Scream.
Scream, yeah.
Yes, I know.
It has no titties in
It has
it.
no titties,
Whatever.
no sex.
Well, it has sex in it.
Yeah.
Well,
He tried to do, but he also tried to do like the thing where it's like he leave gaps for the audience to say things because he wants to make Rocky Horror. Like when they kill the guy in the MasterCard or whatever, and he's like, he wanted people to yell, "Don't leave home without it."
Right.
You
That's
know?
funny. That's funny.
Which is probably where the guys from Batman got it on the roof. You know?
So-
I think my issue with this though was I binge watched 1 through 6, and when you get to this point, you had such a vibe in the other 5 to where when you watch this,
It feels out of place.
it feels completely out of place. So I actually want to rewatch this in a couple months and see how I feel.
Yeah.
It
Because
starts like a
watching
James
it-
Bond movie.
Yeah, it's
Dude, it's
I
great.
wanna
All
watch
right,
it again.
so I love that the writers clearly really didn't care that much, and they wanted to have fun. Which at this, when you get to part 6
Yeah.
of the Friday, have fun, and this one has fun,
Fucking-
and I love they're like,
Horseshack is in it.
yeah, how we gonna bring him back to life? I don't know, fucking lightning. He's a zombie now.
Yeah.
Wait, who paid for the tombstone of the town's most notorious murder? Who gives a shit?
Yes, I love those things. Well, the director also did Friday the 13th, the TV series, and everyone tells me to check that out.
I love. I'm a big fan of that. I think I talked about it in the other one. It was made in Canada.
Yes.
David Cronenberg directed several episodes because he's Canada's most chief export, and he did it under another name. He did a really cool episode because the show is about like cursed antiques.
Yes.
And there's one where
Has nothing to do with Jason.
really
no,
wanna
it was
see
called
it.
Friday's Curse is what it was originally going to be called.
That's what it should be called.
John D. LeMay and Robbie was the redheaded girl. I had a thing for her too.
The guy in it
redheads?
was in Jason Goes to Hell.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
So there's one episode that David Cronenberg directed, and it's got the dude who was in the first Scanners as well.
Okay.
The older guy is part of like the Scanner cult, and it's about like a faith healer. And he has these gloves, and when he touches people, he takes away their cancer, but then he has to give it to someone else.
Oh my God.
So the glove becomes like this pulsating cancer, and he has to like just touch people, and then their whole bodies become cancer. It's really fucked up, but the guy from Scanners is dying of cancer, and he just wants the thing, and he does it wrong, and it's really fucked up for TV.
The one I can remember the most, and I don't know why, is there one where there's like a heavy metal girl and she has a teapot?
Teapot. It's fucking,
Yeah.
it's Vanity.
Oh, it's Vanity.
Yeah.
That's the one I remember the
No,
most.
Vanity's not in that one. Vanity's in the one where the guy becomes obsessed with her. This one dude who's a Canadian actor.
We are now on Friday the 13th, the series.
So the one with the girl with the teapot is like, she's supposed to be like a Vanity type character, but she's getting really old and she needs people to drink from the teapot so
Yes.
they get old so she gets younger.
And then does she do like a heavy metal punk version of I'm a Little Teapot? Yeah, that's the one episode I can remember the most.
The other one with Vanity is about this like woman who's like a big pop star. She's basically supposed to be Vanity. And there's a guy who's like really ugly, but all he really has is like zits and long hair. And he has like this thing that he does, and it makes him like really attractive. Then he becomes her manager somehow. It's really fucking weird. That show's great though.
It's great.
Yeah.
I really want to see that.
Anyway,
But he's also did They Came from Outer Space and She-Wolf of London.
He did that. She-Wolf of London was a cool one. But he did One Dark Night with fucking Adam West.
okay.
rest in
What's her
peace.
face from Pee-wee's Big Adventure and The Devil's Rejects? She's Dottie. She was also the voice of Tommy Pickles.
I
on
know who you're
Rugrats.
talking about.
Yeah.
I know who you're
What
talking
is her
about.
name? It's she.
It's
if
not-
That's
Huh?
the person that does the voice of Tommy from Rugrats. Is
Because
a-
Chucky's dead.
No,
The girl who did the voice of Chucky.
She does the one that does the voice of Tommy is a insane voiceover actor.
Yeah. It's not
She's,
Tara Strong. It's
Tara
the other
Strong.
one.
I think maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
No, Tara Strong I met at a BronyCon when I went around for Underbelly and
That's
fed
right.
I fed Brony
I
sugar
love
cubes out of
Tara.
my hands.
Yeah.
And then it was
I don't know. She's Dottie.
Okay.
I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel.
A rebel. So what were you saying about Dottie? Sorry.
Oh, she's in she's in the movie One Dark Night, which is really good about people who lock themselves in a mausoleum, and this dude is like a psychic vampire, and he uses like psychic energy to bring the dead back, but they're not zombies. They're just corpses that are like moving with psychic
Is
energy.
that Adam West is in it?
Yeah.
He is in a zombie movie, Zombie
Zombie
Nightmare. And I
Nightmare.
told him when he signed my Batman DVD, I said, I loved you in Zombie Nightmare. He's like,
Yeah.
what?
Mickle-
And then when we took the picture, in the picture, he's saying, everybody say Zombie Nightmare.
He's with John
That's
Mickle Thor and
amazing.
Tia Carrera
Ooh.
from Wayne's World and the end song in Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes. That one sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about the best Jason movie.
some people
You and
really
I watched
do love it though.
Yeah, you and
It's-
I Okay, go ahead.
Me and him we want to do more,
Yeah.
but we had to figure out the audio issue. We did like a watch party on Twitch where we watched this last year.
We rated you. No, you were offline already.
yeah, we were
You were
gonna
doing
rate
your other show.
Oh, I don't do that one anymore.
I know, but you were doing that, and then we went to raid you, but you were gone.
You were gone.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then you said you guys rated some dancing girl.
And she didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Oh, I rate people all the
That's fine.
time. They have no idea what's
I
going
love
on.
it. But yeah, this movie, it was 6 out of... I feel like most people love this movie. It was rated 6
You
out
can
of
show
10,
that- you
and then
can show-
Rotten Tomatoes actually rated this 48%.
Yeah, you could show this to non-slasher fans and they'll enjoy it because
Yeah.
it's made for non-slasher
Yeah.
fans.
And their budget, though, was $3 million. And this was, 1 year after the other movie.
Well, you gotta pay for those Alice Cooper songs. Come on.
Which country was it? I wrote it down.
He's back. The man behind the mask.
And he's out of control. He's back.
This is the singingest, dancingest episode
It
we've
is.
ever done.
Which movie? One of the movies in here came out at the same time as in a different country.
This one came out on Friday the 13th, though.
It did.
Yeah, this is the only one, I think.
Well, while you're looking at that, I'm going to read the plot
Yeah,
to
go
this
ahead.
film. Jason rises from the grave to wreak havoc upon the new group of unsuspecting.
Go ahead.
Wow.
Jason rises from the grave to wreak havoc upon a new group of unsuspecting campers in the ultra bloody rampage. Well,
This is the only one with kids in it.
wait.
At the camp.
Yes, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives Deluxe Edition.
Ooh.
As a child, Tommy Jarvis killed mass murderer Jason Voorhees. But now, years later, he is tormented by the fear that maybe Jason isn't really dead. Well, I guess going to that fucking hospital didn't help.
No.
Determined to finish off the infamous
If it was
killer-
Canada, his health care, he would have been fine.
Yeah. Determined to finish off the infamous killer once and for all, Tommy and a friend dig up Jason's corpse in order to cremate him. Bad idea.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, things go seriously awry. Weird word.
Array?
Awry.
Awry.
Why did I
Wow,
say
you-
awry? It's
I like
late.
how you literally said, Ari, that's a weird
And
word.
Jason is instead resurrected, sparking a new chain of ruthlessly brutal murders. Now it's up to Tommy to stop the dark, devious, and demented deaths that he unwittingly brought about in this terrifying horror film that will take you to the grave and back.
Reading is hard.
I've been filming a review every single day. I'm very tired. Anyway,
so hard.
I do like Tommy is responsible for everything. His friend,
Yeah.
literally, all he had to do was nothing. Jason was in the ground and apparently cremated, according to Five. So
Yes.
why he was in the ground, I
Well-
don't know. Also, fuck you. This Tommy's awesome. Tom Matthews is awesome.
Well, because the Tommy from the movie before it became a born again Christian and didn't want to be in this kind of filth.
also, I don't think he would have came back because this movie barely acknowledges the last
No,
one.
it doesn't. Yeah.
It doesn't at all.
Maybe they mentioned him in a hospital at one point, but that's it.
But he doesn't seem to have that. Like, he
Yeah.
seems to have some what type of
Oh,
trauma.
no,
I'm pretty sure
he
you would
did
have
break
a
out
lot
of
more
hospital because his friend, they broke out of a loony bin.
Yeah. With Horseshack.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They did say
Welcome
that.
back, Cotter.
Yeah, welcome
we
back,
have
Cotter.
we have an
That.
employee who just came back to the office for the first time, and Justin's like, "Welcome back, Cotter." And the guy just looked at him because he's like 21, just looked at Justin like he was speaking like Danish, like.
Oh, speaking of different countries, I found my fact. In
Yes.
Turkey, it was actually about the other movie, Friday the 13th 4. In Turkey, it actually came out the same time. It came out as part 5. That way people did almost like a back-to-back.
Okay.
And 4 is actually the one that was released on Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay. I know it was
That
one
was
of
the
them.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the one. The
Yes.
best one. 4.
no,
Not
no.
5, not...
Turkish Friday the
not
13th.
5, not 6,
No,
but I'm for
Was
4.
there a Turkish one? Because I know there was an Indian Friday the 13th.
Oh, there probably was.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I love the whole like Tommy brings him back because it's so stupid. I love Jason coming back. I love the James Bond opening. That is really fucking funny. Again, it's part 6, and the series
just
was
supposed to be
never good. It
funny.
was fun, but
I
it
know.
was never good.
No, they're not. Yeah.
They're not good. They're very fun. Yeah, and like the whole thing is wacky. I love the sheriff hates what's his face, Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it's Forest Green.
Yeah. They changed the name of it.
Forest
That's
Green.
right.
They had to change the name of the town because of all the murder.
Well, I am a large proponent of removing crystal from anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked
Just
at that.
phasing it out.
And then you
All
get
the
a little
time.
love story between the daughter of the sheriff and Tommy. She like believes in him.
Was
No
it
one else does.
Mm-hmm.
Megan.
Megan. I love at one point they're like, look, just leave the town.
This movie was also called Fry Gay the 13th.
No, that's 7.
Oh, is that 7?
You're thinking 7.
Oh,
Save that
okay.
for 7.
Okay.
Save that for 7.
All
Yeah, I
right.
got yeah.
You'll find out.
You'll find out.
Okay.
You'll watch it. You won't be in that one.
Yeah, basically the whole movie is like Tommy just trying to get someone to believe him and get out of jail to stop Jason because he kind of caused it.
Yeah.
He did fuck up.
Whoops.
And like you
Yeah.
said, this is the only one where the camp is actually open.
Yeah.
And there's actually kids.
Actual kids there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love the scene setting it up where they're talking about like the history of Jason. And they're like, I can only think of like one thing more horrifying. And then the bus shows
Yeah.
up and like the guy on the bus is like, they're yours.
Yup. She's like, I must rather deal with Jason than kids.
I do like when he's like, "What did you want to be when you grew up?"
Oh yeah, and I love the scenes with the counselor and the kids, like the fucking Guido guy is
Yeah.
like talking about like the rocks. He's like, maybe he wants to hang out with his new lady, and he doesn't want his business, so he knocks over the rocks, but his son can find him later to hang out.
I love the girl that was it Sissy or whatever.
Yeah.
She was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Oh, and
Liked her.
I love the Gravedigger. Because
He was great.
I love that he's just like, God damn it, why did they dig up Jason? So he fills it in. And then the cops are like, well, clearly the grave is undisturbed. There's fresh dirt on it. Oh, and that's one of the greatest cuts ever. Does he think I'm a fart head? And then it cuts to the kids going,
like,
yeah!
Does he think I'm a fart head?
Yeah, so it's great. It's a fun time. They have the jokes are real witty. Like, I like the two people driving into town. And there's just like, I think we should turn back. Why? Like, I've seen enough horror films to know that guy's not.
Yeah.
Yes, the guy wearing was it the weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly. I
Yeah.
loved that
What
part.
if he was?
Yeah. I love I think my favorite kill is the people having a company exercise of
Paintball
paintball.
tournament? Yeah.
Yeah, I love when Jason cuts all three of their heads off.
Yeah.
Which I stole
Yeah.
for Swamp Zombies too. I straight up
Yes.
ripped that scene off.
Unfamiliar.
Yeah,
Unfamiliar.
yeah, so I
I
heard.
showed my good friend Clayton, who is either has been on the show or will be on the show.
Yeah, at this point he will be.
I showed my good friend Clayton Swamp Zombies 1. And I was like, look how great this was. And then Newt and Crystal thought they could do better.
So Tony sends me
you
a
know what's weird? He wasn't a fan of Swamp Zombies 1. I
Yeah.
thought that was odd. I'm like,
So I'm in Target, and Tony sends me a picture, and I'm like, "You son of a bitch!" So the kid behind the counter recognized me, and he's like, "Holy shit, you're on Hack the Movies!" And I was like, "Yeah, hey man." As I'm buying toilet paper and like, just shit, whatever. And then Tony calls me, and I go, "Oh, hello, super famous YouTuber Tony from Hack the Movies," and the kid goes,
I didn't realize you were in a store.
yeah. So I'm just like, first off, like, be better, man. Like, it's cool. You work at Target. Like, change your viewing habits. Go to college.
No, keep watching. Sign up for the Patreon, you asshole. Anyway,
You are insulting a lot of these amazing people and supporters.
I'm not. I'm just saying you.
that they had better things to do with their
You
time.
seem like a good kid.
Wait, are you making fun of all the fans or this one specific one?
No,
that
I'm not making fun of
recognizes
him.
you and
I'm
supports
telling
you?
him that
you
he can.
guys are such assholes to your fans.
Be-
I'm
and
saying, I'm calling you. Don't
supporters.
group me into this. I'm defending
if you get excited to see us, your priorities are
No,
off.
you're awesome. And you make really
Best
good decisions.
person ever, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, you're my new best friend." Anyone that I meet, they're like, "Oh my god, I like Hack the Movies," and I'm like, "Oh my god, you're my new best friend. Let's be friends forever." And they go, "Oh, well,
Tony,
So
I'm gonna
anyway,
watch this
Tony
again."
signs everything. I love you.
So anyway, like I said, the writing in this is so good, and I think I could write a good horror movie. So I tweeted Len saying, "Hey, I can fix this series. We can do like a Highlander 3, Halloween H2O, where we ignore the other sequels, and I'll write this train." I haven't heard back from him. You think he'll get back to me?
Well, are you going to be putting up the money for it?
I could.
Then there you go. You got
Wait.
the job. That's how I got the job.
I would love to do like Swamp Zombies Redemption. It's just like ignoring.
It's a splinter. It's the Kelvin timeline of the Swamp Zombies universe. Go fuck yourself. First off,
First of all, how many ideas have you had?
By the way, Clayton hated Swamp Zombies, and I showed him Shark Exorcist right afterwards, which we both agree is great, and the sequel will definitely be good.
the check cleared by Wild Eye, so it was amazing.
Yes. Yeah, he was just like, I don't know, Tony, this is way better than Swamp Zombies 1. And I'm like, I disagree. So anyway,
So you're willing to put money into another Swamp Zombies, but none of the other brilliant ideas that he has, or your idea of Christmas Parrot.
well, no, because see, like, we lost Star Wars because people like Newt ruined it with their
It's
political
true, with my
agenda,
wokeness,
and it wasn't
yeah.
able to be saved. But I think I could save the Swamp Zombies series.
It's-
Len, call me. We're doing Swamp Zombies Redemption.
Swamp Zombies it's a cultural milestone.
It is.
I remember when the Swamp Zombies action figures. You got the empty box. You know.
So anyway, speaking of action figures,
There
I
you go.
have the Jason, the NECA figure from
Yeah.
this. This is my favorite looking Jason. I love the utility belt.
I like the utility.
I love the
yeah.
gloves. I even like his face when his mask. This is the first time you see his mask off at the beginning. And
No,
then
you
never
know what?
again.
Jason versus Carrie is my favorite look. I like that his like fucking spine is exposed in the back and stuff.
We'll talk about it when we get to that. I have an issue with that. You can't be super muscular and have your skeleton on the outside. That's not how it works.
Are you a doctor?
I'm not.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Target guy. Go to medical school.
I love the goddamn RV kill. That one's awesome.
Yeah.
That was great.
This is my favorite thing. Like this and Tales from the Dark Side do it. Guns that had laser pointers.
Yeah.
I think Tales from the Dark Side had a bigger one. But I love
Tales
them
from the Dark
wherever the red
Side.
dot goes. You bang.
Yeah.
But they're like
Stop.
gigantic.
Yeah. What did she say? She goes, he says, "Stop clowning around, Megan." And she goes, "I'm not the one with a funny red nose." Has it right on his nose. But my favorite line in this entire movie is probably, "Some folks have a strange idea for entertainment," and looks right at the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the random couple having a picnic late at night.
Yeah.
Just arguing, and then they get on the bike and they both get murdered.
Jason fucking folds the girl's dad in half, and at the end, like after what? Obviously, this movie is supposed to be set in New Jersey because the water catches on fire.
Oh, this is the first time the Jason movies acknowledged Freddy.
Yes,
The girl has a dream.
and her name is Nancy.
Nancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has a dream of like a creepy guy in a boiler room or
Yeah.
something. So
Yeah.
they were planting the seeds pretty early. I think the problem was at that point,
They were owned by two different studios.
and like they had trouble like
yeah.
connecting. And
Yeah.
then by the time New Line got both properties, they ended Jason.
I always thought it was weird when I was a kid when Jason Goes to Hell came out and they didn't call it Friday the 13th, and I didn't realize until reading Fangoria magazine that they legally weren't allowed to call it Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Because there's Jason Goes to Hell and then Jason X. You weren't allowed
Freddy
to call
versus
them
Jason.
Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that they would buy the property and not be able to use
Yeah.
the name
It
until
is weird.
the remake. Then
Well,
the
wasn't it
remake.
like the first movie, Sean S. Cunningham ran a ad in Variety Friday the 13th, and he was waiting to see if someone sued them because the title already existed. But apparently the only other movie was like from the 40s called Friday the 13th, and he's like,
Ah.
oh, all right, cool.
Nah, because it's so different.
Yeah.
There's another movie called Child's Play that's not about killer dolls.
There's a whole bunch of movies.
And a
that
weird
are named
fact
the
that I
same way.
remember, there's one guy who worked on both Child's Plays. And
Oh,
he's
that's
like,
weird.
So it's like, yeah, I worked on Child's Play. Which one? Oh, well, I worked on both.
Both, yeah.
But yeah, no, this one has a fun feeling. Some of the stuff is pretty creepy. I love the setting. It's shot really nice. The comedy's real witty. But not Joss Whedon witty. Yeah, and I don't know how anyone could not like this.
I really like
It's
the
great.
end. This is the out of 4 and 5. I wasn't the biggest fan of the endings. I actually love this ending. I love the fact of taking Jason back to his home. The
Yeah,
image
like they
of
have to
him
bury
under
him.
The water.
They get him with the
Which-
propeller, and all the stuff comes up, and it just reminds me of when I talked about pooping my pants in a pool, and I was
Watch
like,
the
oh, it's
Fear Street review for that story.
like 50 minutes in, because
Yeah.
we did 3 movies in one, and everybody's like, a 2-hour long review. I was like, yeah, it's
a
2
trilogy.
fucking
Like,
hour
this is a
long
trilogy.
Yeah,
I know. I got done my show and I'm like, wow, they're still going.
I get that a lot.
Yeah,
from
so
ladies.
you're right. Him underneath the water when Tommy finally buries him. It's good for his character, completes his character arc, even though this is kind of ignoring the second entry in his
Yeah.
arc.
Oh, yeah.
So he finally he finally kills Jason. Although in the beginning he could have just did nothing because he technically already killed Jason, and he kind of it's very stupid.
Yeah.
But I love the image of him underneath the water.
Yeah.
Yes.
And fans have someone buried a statue
Yeah.
and did that.
Yes.
There's so many people that make little
Fish
aquariums.
tanks.
I
Yeah.
love that image. I really do.
Someone
It's
added
really cool.
someone added
Yeah.
Disney characters to them, and it was the Nemo and Ellen DeGeneres going by Jason under the water.
Dory?
Is that her name?
Yes.
Dory.
And
That movie does have one of the saddest lines and line deliveries, and I openly wept in the theater.
oh
No,
wow,
you cry in
wow.
movies?
Crystal, stop me if you heard this one before. Newt cried.
When she's like, she goes
a lot.
like, don't go. She's like, when I'm with you, I can I can remember or whatever. And I was just like, oh my God, like that is heartbreaking.
You cry too much. You don't cry at all. You both need to go to therapy. You both got real bad.
I'm
issues.
already in therapy.
Right?
You need to go to more sessions.
I can. We have to film all these reviews.
After hours, thanks. God damn it. Oh,
My
2 hours
ther-
away. Let's film the episode.
My therapy.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't want to go to bed early tonight. That's fine, Crystal.
Who needs therapy when you have alcohol and random 17-year-olds at Target who recognize you?
You both are so famous.
We're very famous. Yeah, so the best part about this movie is Alice Cooper's song.
Yes.
Yeah.
The music.
Yes.
Have you seen the music video?
Yes, yep.
The music video for this.
I've never seen
Oh
the
my
music
God,
video.
the music video for this is awesome. So it's clips from the movie and it's Alice Cooper singing, but it's like a kid and he's like, I'm going to go to the movie theaters with whatever. And he's like, all right, be safe. And then they're sitting in the
Have I
theater.
not seen this?
Yeah, they're sitting in the theater watching like clips from the movie, and at one point, Jason green screens into the theater swinging on a vine.
Like Last Action Hero. And then
at the end, you find out that the dad was Alice Cooper.
Jason, I'm talking to you.
Not sure I really understood it all.
Then let me explain.
maybe that kid is Freddy Krueger.
Oh,
Because Alice Cooper went on to play Freddy Krueger's dad.
That's right.
Yeah.
How did he not end up in
With
Freddy versus
Billy
Jason?
Zane's sister.
What the hell? He should have been in Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yep.
There's so many pictures of Alice Cooper. And
Yeah, I
Jason.
had the cassette tape of the famous
These
him
are-
with the mask.
So
Yeah.
you only wrote the one song
I got it at
for
Bradley's.
Yeah.
So
he's
what songs
back
do they
to-
play in this? They play that.
He's
They play
back to Man
Teenage
Behind-
Frankenstein.
Teenage Frankenstein, I
Yeah.
definitely remember.
It has a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
I actually really dig the
He's
soundtrack.
written
of
2
this.
songs with Frankenstein in the title.
I love Alice
Feed
Cooper.
My
There's a third-
Frankenstein.
There's
I'm
a
supposed to be working
third
with Alice
song.
Cooper next year.
Your arms are all sweaty.
Oh fuck.
There is a third song he does, and I think it's when they're in like the van or something. Or no, when she's like speeding away from the dad, and she puts Tommy's face in her crotch. And
Yeah.
just looks at her crotch.
Yeah.
I'm glad they zoomed in on it.
But I do,
guess.
like I said, I love the scene where he folds the dad in half and they kill him. And at
I've
no-
seen the behind the scenes where like his legs are kicking
but
the whole
like,
time.
it's like, oh my God, you killed Jason. Let's go find my dad. And Tommy has to be like, well, you're an orphan now.
Okay, Crystal,
Yes.
and I guess Newt, what is the best being folded back in half? This movie, 13 Ghosts in the beginning when the guy gets folded and pulled in and blood shoots out, or the Blob remake when the Blob's tentacle
The
comes
Blob remake has to be the best one. Well, or the bed one in Freddy vs. Jason was good too.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the one where
No, the Blob is the
he's-
best one.
The one guy is folded underneath the counter. What movie am I thinking of?
Ooh.
Oh, fucking, what did we just watch? Oh, Men in Black.
No, but we
No.
don't see him get folded.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Is that the movie where he's folded in half underneath the counter?
Yeah, he is, but you don't see him get killed. You just see the body afterwards.
yeah, as Kingpin's walking away, and he's like, "We
As
gotta
Kingpin.
make dinosaur soldiers." Andy Dwyer. And he's like, "I don't. Does he know that I'm not that character?"
I'm gonna watch every movie where someone gets folded in half.
Okay, so this is when this started the trend of zombie Jason.
Yes.
Even though he was kind of undead before, but this is like proper zombie Jason.
Because of the voodoo magic that
The voodoo
that made
Well, no, it's
Jaws
the-
4.
It's the lightning, like Frankenstein.
And there was apparently supposed to be a subplot where Jason had a dad
Yeah.
that got cut out because they were like, "Look, we're just trying to keep Jason alive. We don't want to do any more of like the subplot shit."
No, nor should they.
Yeah.
Have. I think it would have slowed the movie down. And this movie's pretty fast.
Yeah.
And I don't, yeah. that
You,
would've
you
sucked.
could have done it like in a fucking Pumpkinhead kind of way. Like the dad is still alive and he's like getting revenge on everybody like by using Jason.
So wouldn't Jason then,
Where did Pumpkinhead go?
before he died, was he technically
I had
a zombie?
Pumpkinhead. What happened to Pumpkinhead?
Pumpkinhead's great.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Was Jason then technically a zombie in the second and the third, like in the?
it's
fir-
hard.
in the
Well,
first?
if you go by some comics, apparently he's a Deadite from the Evil Dead
Yes,
universe.
yeah, because
there's
because the book shows up in and the dagger show up in Jason Goes to Hell,
and
which
then there was
also the crate from Creepshow also shows
yes,
up in that
and then there was a
scene.
comic called Freddy versus Jason versus Ash,
yeah.
where they
Yes,
combine.
I do know about that one.
So that's like the thing. He's like a Deadite.
but if he's a Deadite and then he died and then came back, but also
And the Deadites
if he
are
was
more
a Deadite
talky.
this entire time
Mm-hmm.
though, why didn't he actually go and visit his mom who was alive the entire time in the first one? Why did he?
You're
they
asking
both
a lot
miss
of
each other?
questions.
You're
The
asking a
mom and the son
lot
miss
of
each other
questions.
so much, but they both were technically
Crystal,
alive
we
this
already
entire
covered
time?
this in the previous
the
video.
guy who's suing Sean S. Cunningham just comes in, takes Crystal, and wheels her out. Like, so that's 4,
that was
5, and
the
6.
Jarvis trilogy.
Yeah.
I love this trilogy. It's weird. It's one of the few times I can think of like a trilogy that happens later in the series. Like
Yeah.
the Star Trek trilogy is 2, 3, and 4. Like 1 is not included.
No.
5 is
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
included. I'm trying to think. Are there any other like trilogies of films that happen in the middle of like a series?
I don't like movies, Tony. I really don't.
Fucking guy.
I don't care.
Oh, the
anymore.
Thorn trilogy in Halloween.
Oh, yes.
4, 5, and 6.
Yes, yeah, and Tommy's gonna have the Thorn logo on his arm, and And then, fucking yell, and I'm going to go take care of some stuff. And he goes back inside, and Paul Rudd's like, all right, bye.
So
And
stupid.
I hate that movie.
So I really, really enjoy these 3 films. Like I said, 6 is the one that you could throw in for like friends who aren't into these type of movies, or like people who don't like nudity or get grossed out by gore. This has enough comedy to substitute for all of that.
Yeah, I think that's why
If you don't like nudity and gore,
Look,
then I don't
if the
like
script
you.
wasn't like so good and witty, I'd be on board with you being like, there's no nudity or gore and it's boring. This sucks, but it's not a boring movie.
No, it's not.
It's a different vibe.
It is pretty cool when that
It's a different
cabin's
vibe.
like covered in blood though. When he kills that one girl.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a different vibe. That's all.
It's-
But I think I like 4, 5, and 6 better than 1, 2, and 3.
I like 3, 4, 5, and 10. I fucking love Jason X.
No, I really like the
guys. He just wanted his machete back.
the first and sixth one are my favorite. I really love the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
I
the
think it's
first
because
one's a
I've seen it the
classic.
most.
Yeah, it's
because
a
I had it on
classic.
tape and everything.
It's not my favorite.
So
but
it always reminds me
I-
of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors when he's just like he's like they said the Raven's not scary. It's like, yeah, it just hasn't aged well. It's like people look back on Friday the 13th Part 1, you know.
Anyway, that is it from us. We have to go celebrate our Friday the 13th. Let's all watch spooky movies. Oh wait, I'm gonna be at a wedding. Anyway, and my sister's getting married, and she picked Friday the 13th of all times to get married.
You're gonna
Wait, my question is, she picked a Friday.
Yeah.
You should have
You
said.
know what's
Is it
weird?
also
You know what's weird?
not an open bar?
My cousin also picked the next Friday the 13th, and they did their engagement photos, and they have Jason in their engagement.
You should
photos.
say
That's
like
actually really
you should
cool.
say like, oh, I'm going to my sister's first wedding.
That's great.
All right, we're
That
done.
poor son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I tried to tell him. I'm like, he said like, hey, I'm want you to know I'm gonna ask your sister to marry me, and I literally went, do you think that's a good idea? And I
Yeah.
was like, you can.
You're like, look,
You're like a
better.
I'm
you're
not.
like a good-looking guy with like a steady job. Like you can get. There's
I'm
other
not
girls out there.
Say like, look, I'm Tony from Hack the Movies. I'm not one who usually tells people about good decisions, but
Anyway, Crystal, because we forgot to mention it, can you show off your mask there? What is that?
Yes. So I bought this. This is actually during the beginning.
Don't put it on. Don't put it on.
Yeah,
we'll get
oh
so
my
many
God,
comments.
oh
Don't
my
put it
God,
on.
Oh my God, you muzzled Muppet! Come on.
Listen, guys. If you see us at an event and we're wearing a mask,
It's because the convention told us that we have to wear a mask. Stop.
I did
Jesus Christ. We see your fucking comments.
See the comments?
We read your fucking comments. Stop.
So during the pandemic, the beginning of it, Tom Savini decided to make masks, especially there's a skull one and his original Jason, and he sold some that actually has a signature as well.
Oh, cool.
So
That's
you can
cool.
actually, so I actually bought one to wear and then one with his signature that I can just, I don't take signatures from anyone, but I thought this was really cool because I really do like him.
Yes, Tom Savini. I've met Tom Savini a couple times.
How was that?
I
Well,
met Tom
thanks
Savini.
for tuning in. And
Yeah,
we'll
thanks for tuning in.
We'll do the
Hey,
next.
Tom
We'll do the
Savini.
next 3. The next Friday the 13th.
And I can't wait to see you guys there. That's when the series gets real freaking weird.
Yeah.
So enjoy that. That'll be 7, 8, and Jason Goes to Hell.
Sure.
Man, that's a weird trilogy right there.
Yes. Woo.
So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Call us on the voicemail line if you're listening to the podcast version. You get to hear the voicemail segment, and if you're on Patreon, you get to watch the voicemail segment. Crystal, how great is that Patreon?
It's actually really cool.
And you know, annual subscriptions are now open, so you can pay for the whole year up front with a discount.
Are you serious? I actually have to just subscribe to this so I can see this stuff.
Yes.
I have to subscribe to my own, or I guess Hack the Movies.
Look,
Patreon.
annual subscription is new. I'm sorry, it wasn't around when you signed up first. So
Can
yeah,
I
check that
unsubscribe
out.
and then subscribe back to the annual?
Sure. Anyway, that
I'm
is
gonna
it from
go.
us.
I'm gonna go skinny dip.
Goodbye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.